Good morning, and sorry we're late, but thank you for sticking around. We are so pleased to have your company. Adam's
Hi, Bex.
here,
Oh, good
back
to see you.
in the
Good
potting
to see
shed
you.
with us, and we're really pleased to have your company. We've got 4 whole hours for you, so we are going to go right the way through till 2 o'clock. We've got lots and lots of items. We've got a few new ones for you as well. We did promise that earlier on in the week, and they have delivered at the YouGarden nursery. We've got 3 brand new items to show you, so that's really, really exciting. Now, a couple of things to fill you in on, let you know. Free postage over £40. If you can get your order to over 40 and you use our offer code, we will take away any of those postage costs for you. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? If your order is under £40, you'll only pay 1 postage cost. So even if you've got 5 items in your basket that all have postage attached to them, as long as you use our offer code, you'll only pay that postage once. So a couple of offers there for you. Of course, we do have the code for you. It's on the screen right now. It's YGTV1624. It's really important that you use that code no matter, what you're doing within your order, because it unlocks every single deal and offer. So what have we got today? We've got lots of offers, haven't we?
We have. We've got double ups, and we've got all sorts of
buy one get one, buy one get 2. We've got a free gift as well, worth £9.99. So by using that code, you will get a pack of 75 of our anemone blander bulbs put into your order as well. This is why that code is super, super important. Another thing is, if you are not a club member already, I know lots of you are, thank you for joining our club. We have over 40,000 members of that club. But if you're not already a club member, I would like you to consider joining the club, because it costs you just £5, and it's a one-off cost, £5 on an auto-renewal yearly subscription. Now, if auto-renewal puts you off, please don't let it, because you can cancel that renewal at any stage. We're not tying you in at all. But by going for that 5 club membership, first of all, it means that you will only ever pay £5 for that membership when it renews, as long as you don't cancel it at any point. If we put the club membership up in price, doesn't put it up in price for you, you'll always just pay £5 once a year, and it gives you amazing discounts, 10% off every plant and accessory order. Even compost is included in there. I've got my order of compost, and I got 10% discount from that. That's amazing. You get 5% off your outdoor living and gifts. You also get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers. It's free money, £20 to spend throughout the year. Love that, absolutely. So I've done the boring stuff. Let's do the interesting stuff. Let's get into talking about plants, shall we?
Absolutely. Is it going to be a marathon show today as well?
It's going to be a marathon show. 4 whole hours of our marathon YouGarden show for you. We're going to start with an absolute crowd pleaser, aren't we? A real showstopper, this one.
Goodness me, Bex. It's like an exploding firework on a stick.
I love this one so much.
It's just an explosion of colour. Imagine getting this home, you open the box, and it's wow.
Yeah.
Instant, isn't it?
It's so wow, because, you've got... the flowers on here are just incredibly fascinating, and you can see these kind of bottle brush flowers on here, but you can also see, look how many buds there are waiting to open. So you're getting this at the absolute perfect time, aren't you?
There's weeks worth of flower to come on this. This is hardy down to about -5. It makes a great container plant. You can plant it in the garden in a very sheltered, sunny position. It's evergreen as well, so it looks good all year through. You can let it grow into its kind of natural shape, or you can prune it and shape it if you want to. But very, very drought tolerant as well, which is good. Will grow in really hot, sunny positions where other things might struggle, might get a bit scorched or burnt or start to wilt. Just a fantastic, exciting statement plant.
It really is, and I do think that this works perfectly in a pot, doesn't it? I think this would be a real statement in a pot somewhere. A nice, beautiful pot. You could underplant this as well, because this is in that standard shape as well, which gives you the opportunity to then create a lovely tiered look.
Yeah, that's it, Bex, because sometimes, with smaller spaces, if you've got like a normal callistemon straight in the ground, right at ground level, that's taking up a lot of space. With this, because you've just got the actual standard stem there, like you say, you can plant right up to the base of it. Look at these.
Oh, wow.
They are, the quality of these plants as well is magnificent. They're so uniform. The stems, they're so straight. Just everything about these is quality. They're just that kind of plant. This time of year, when we've come out of winter, we're coming into spring, you want that big pop of colour. just get one of these, honestly, and you'll just love this forever. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's a real statement and an absolute beauty. I'm very much considering getting that one myself. Yeah, because I haven't got enough in my garden, clearly. There's always space for something else, and particularly when you've got a £10 saving here at YGTV. You access that saving by entering the code when you place your order, YGTV1624. If you don't put that code in, you will pay the higher price, and we don't want you to do that. We want you to get the best value for money. That's what we're all about here. It's all about gardening for everyone. Now then, as far as care and maintenance is concerned, is there very much that we need to do with this?
Well, if you're in a very cold area, I would suggest growing it in a pot. You know, treat it as a container plant, and then in the really coldest part of wintertime, you can just take it in. And you don't have to keep it warm. I mean, if it was somewhere just 1 or 2 degrees, that would be absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be sort of mollycoddled and kept warm. If you're in a milder area, you could keep it outside pretty much all the year round.
Yeah.
You could fleece it in the wintertime, put a nice layer of fleece around it. You get those long rolls of horticultural fleece. Don't just go round it once. Go round about a dozen times. Wrap it up.
The stem or the top?
Just the top, really, just the top. But I mean, generally, most of the year, if it's in a container, keep it watered, liquid feed it occasionally.
Pruning?
You can prune them if you want to. I prune these for people. I mean, if you want to leave it, it will just become sort of a bigger crown as time goes by. And the stem, the stem will thicken up. If you ever see any shoots come off the stem, just grub them off with your thumb, so you don't get any sort of like suckers coming off the actual stem there. But honestly, these are really quite easy to look after. There's no, these aren't prima donnas. They look like they are because they're so gorgeous and beautiful, but they're very simple and easy to look after.
So I've got an unheated conservatory, which I'm very much using as my greenhouse at the moment. It's filled with dahlias and all sorts going on in there. But I am considering having a plant in there, as a conservatory plant. This would work, wouldn't it?
That would be good. In fact, if anything, it would prefer being a colder kind of conservatory than warm, because sometimes if you have these indoors in very warm spaces, you can get problems with like red spider and mealybug and that kind of thing. Whereas if it's sort of a colder condition, it'd be absolutely fine. And as I say, even in the wintertime, you don't need to keep it. It's not like a house plant, as long as it doesn't freeze rock solid, it'll be fine, and it'll just get through. Obviously give it a little bit of light, and also if you do shelter it in the wintertime, just let it go more on the dry side. Just water it very occasionally, but generally keep it dry. That's a rule of thumb for anything you want to get through the winter. If things are cold and wet, they tend to perish. If they're cold but dry, 9 times out of 10, they'll get through to the following spring.
Just go to sleep, don't they?
They do, exactly.
Just go to sleep, go dormant, have a little nap over the winter. I'd love to be able to do that.
So do I,
Just
I hate
hibernate.
winter.
Okay, so 680093 is your item number. When you enter that code, you'll get that £10 saving, and you'll also get your free gift worth nearly £10. That's £9.99 for your pack of 75 anemone Olander bulbs. Easy for you to say. Right, so we also want you to be part of our, not just our club, but also our club. This is our gardening community here, and we love it when you send us messages, send us pictures, ask questions. You're more than welcome to do that. There is an email address on the bottom of the screen there. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. Stu is just outside the doors here in his own little shed out there, and he's ready and waiting to receive your messages. You know how much we love your pictures. We adore seeing them. Last week we asked for updates on the Caribbean lilies, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Tony, my word.
Look at this.
Thank you, Tony, for sending this picture in.
Look at that.
I am so jealous.
If these are coming back, these come back again in the autumn this year, I'm definitely getting some of these, because look at that colour. I mean, that is absolutely spectacular.
It's just incredible the way they open up, because they sort of open from the outwards inwards, don't they? You can see there's even more flowers on there waiting to open, creating that beautiful ball.
So different, Beck, so unusual.
I fell in love with them last year when we were bringing them, and I kept saying I'm going to get one, and I didn't, and now I'm really jealous. But I love you sending us your pictures. Neil has sent us a picture of his garden last year. Wow.
Look at that. Lovely,
I love
sort of lovely summery scene there, isn't it? Great to see it. I like all the sort of purples that he's got there, and the whites as well. Yeah, purples are good, because at the end there, where it's slightly lower light levels, the purples and blues really stand out in those kind of lower light. I love that old wall as well. That old wall, lovely.
I love that archway.
Yeah.
I just wonder if he's getting something growing up over that archway. What are you doing with that, Neil? We'd like to know. I feel like you need something climbing up over it.
I don't think it is, but almost like a honeyberry in the background, doesn't it? It's got that honeyberry kind of leaf.
Very, very nice. Thank you very much. Oh, good morning, Rocky. Is that Neil's cat? Oh, Rocky, he's beautiful.
His big white whiskers there, poking out from his black fur.
Garden helpers, I'm all in if you want to send us pictures of your little furry garden helpers. Let's say a few hellos, shall we? Who's watching us this morning? Who's looking forward to that? Debbie. She's looking forward to spreading her plants around. She got rid of her conifer. And she's just looking forward to putting plants in there, basically. Plants down instead. Why not? Love that. Carol likes the look of the bottle brush. I think we all do, Carol. I'm very, very tempted. I think my husband's going to be mad at me, but I don't care. I think you should spend some more money.
I think you should order one.
And good morning to you. Bill, good morning. Penny, good morning to you. And of course, Elaine, hello, good morning. Thank you for your company. Right, let's move on to another item. And this one I'm really enjoying because of its kind of relaxed nature. This one's very chilled out. This one has a lovely kind of, just the way it grows, it's very
loose,
chilled.
kind of
Loose,
open, yeah, chilled. And
it smells.
Yeah, the fragrance.
fine.
The fragrance on this is insane, isn't it? I mean, wow, that...
You don't even need to get this close to it. I just like sticking my nose right in it.
It's so sweet, isn't it, that fragrance?
It's beautiful,
yeah.
Honestly. And it's sunshine yellow. It's really bright and glorious, isn't it?
And it's at this time of year as well. And it's already been flowering for a couple of weeks.
It has,
and Coronilla, they kind of originate from North Africa into Southern Europe. They do very well in the UK. And they're a very easy shrub to look after. They're very drought tolerant, so if you've got a really dry part of the garden where other plants struggle, if you've got really shallow soils, if you've got poor soils, sandy soils, stony soils, gravelly soils, they grow in that kind of position very, very well. They're a shrub that never really gets too big, and you can leave them to actually sort of just cover the ground if you want. They kind of just spread out sideways and sort of sprawl and loosely cover the ground. But if you also want to, you can train them upwards. So you can actually grow one of these in a tower pot. And myself and my other half, we've got one of these in our front garden, and we've got it growing up through an obelisk, a metal obelisk.
Nice, yeah.
And we've just kind of twisted it round and tied it in. And now it's made this lovely dome of flower, which is looking glorious. And they flower for months.
Yeah.
I mean, ours flowers for ages and ages and ages. And all you need to do with this long term, never prune it too harshly. They don't like being very harshly pruned. But for the first couple of years, I wouldn't bother doing anything with it at all. And then after sort of year 3 or 4, what you can do in the spring is perhaps just go into the middle a little bit. If there's any sort of old, I don't know, like sort of old brown stems like we've got here, or any sort of stems that are crisscrossing a little bit.
Front there.
Yeah, just trim them out and just sort of slightly open up the middle a little bit. Just let the air and the light in if it's a bit tangled, but just just gently really. And you might just want to shorten a few bits on the ends. That's all you've got to do with this, and it's just a really great shrub for planting and leaving alone and let it do its own thing.
I love the movement of that. You
Yeah.
know, you can just imagine in a beautiful sort of spring, summer breeze, that just gently swaying and moving. That's going to create lovely movement in your garden, isn't it?
Yeah, and with those leaves as well, there, Beck, it's got those lovely sort of pea-shaped leaves on there. I love the foliage. The foliage is very elegant. It really complements the flowers. And that bright yellow against that lovely green as well, and that incredible fragrance. And I mean, looking on the screen there, you can see what a kind of a happy plant it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's almost, I don't know, kind of reminiscent of a lupin in one sort of way, the actual individual flowers. That doesn't have racemes like a lupin. But yeah, just an easy plant to look after. I mean, all it will really ask of you, if you want to love it, if you want to keep it, if you want to enjoy it, its ideal habitat is full sun, sheltered, well drained, but a brilliant shrub for a pot as well if you want. Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And it is, excuse me, just £13.49 today if you are in the club. There is a £3 saving on there. 510521 is the item number you need. If you're wondering, how do I place an order? You need to go to our website. It's yougarden.com, and that's where you can go. You can place your order. You can also, if you go into the show page, you can see all of the items that we've got on our show today. So if there's something in specific that you want to see, just let us know. That's us right there. So all you have to do is click into there. That's where you can watch if you want to watch on the website. But there, look, if you scroll down, you can see all the items that we have selected for today's show. You can also, the tea plant is new. We're going to come to that very soon. We've got a couple of other new things as well. We've got a lovely Dahlia, the creamy yellow Oleander, and that Dahlia on the right-hand side. Oh, the Jacob's Ladder, I'm in love with that. I need to order that one. Yeah, that Dahlia is gorgeous. Look at that, nice. It's a slightly more compact variety of Dahlia, this one, but look at the flowers on there. They're incredible.
It's like a flower within a flower on that, isn't it?
I don't think I can add any more Dahlias. I've got 32. I don't know where I'm going to plant.
You've lost a few.
I don't know where I'm going to plant those.
You just say you lost a few, so you could like...
I lost 4 because I overwatered.
Well, there you
so
go.
I lost 4. I had 34 and I'm left with 30.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. What Stu just said. Yeah, buy a pack of those. You're only 2 more than what you had originally. I mean, you can accommodate an extra 2, can't you? Really?
Love your way of shopping. I think it's the best way, honestly. So yeah, you can go in and you can have a little look at what we've got in the show. If there's something specific you want us to talk about, message Stu on the email address ygtv@yougarden.com. We'll bring it forward for you. Also, it doesn't mean that you can't go and shop the rest of the website. You absolutely can. We've got thousands of products on the website. You can go and you can search. Just make sure you enter that code there. Look, YGTV1624, because we have that postage promotion. We have a free gift for you, and it's all unlocked by using that code. Right, very quick one on the most popular item that we bring you at YouGarden, and that is our premium professional compost, the compost that we use at the nursery. Anything that's grown here, anything that's potted on, this is the compost that our head gardener chooses for us to use. If there were a better one, I promise you we would be using it, but we don't. This is the one we choose, and it's because it's packed with ingredients.
Absolute Bex, yeah. I mean, yeah, in a nutshell, basically this is peat reduced, but what we've done then, we've added that composted wood fibre. That keeps the compost nice and open. It lets the water percolate. It lets the air get down to the roots. It lets the roots penetrate through the compost. And you don't want it too wet, you don't want it too dry, so you've got that perfect balance there. Also, it's pH balance, so it's not too acidic, it's not too alkaline, so it means more and more plants can enjoy this compost. It's got a wetting agent as well, so that actually means it wants to absorb water. It's like kitchen towel. I actually described it the other day as hydrophilic, and I thought I'd made that word up, but it's actually it's a real word. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it likes water. It likes to attract water. So you know, some composts, when they dry it, you water them, the water runs straight off. This won't happen with this compost. Also, there's a slow release fertiliser in here that sort of lasts up to 6 months, but yeah, there you go. You've got those little beads there, those little tiny green beads that break down gradually over a long period of time. Not like one of those sports drinks where it's a big woof of energy and then it's all over. You know, right from when your plant is a seed to when it germinates, to when it gets its first set of true leaves, to when it gets to this size, this size, this size. And this is brilliant for so many things, for house plants, for seeds, for cuttings, for fruit, for vegetables, for mixing in when you're planting plants in the garden. And it's a simple mix, but it's an ingenious mix. You know, sometimes you go to the garden centres these days and all these different brands are competing with each other, and they've got added this and added that and all these weird terms and phrases, or they've got numbers on them, and you're walking up and down, you're baffled. What do I choose? I'm confused. Honestly, this comes to you in these plain white bags, because it comes straight from the supplier, straight to you, doesn't sit around for months on end. And just our reviews speak 1,000 words, really.
They really do, honestly. Over the years, we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews on this, and we have so many people that tell us they will never use anything else because they have experienced the results for themselves. I think, you know, the fact that we use it as a professional nursery that's been in business for 2 decades, the fact that, you know, a business whose business is growing plants chooses to use this compost over and above anything else, that should speak volumes to you. But if you want to go and check out the reviews on the pages, please do. They're all Trustpilot reviews, and the majority are 5-star. They are amazing, honestly. 100125, and there is no postage attached to that item. So if you want multiples of your free gift, here's a good way of doing it. Place an order for your compost, because there's no postage attached. Enter the code YGTV1624. You'll get it for £22.48 rather than £24.98, because you get that 10% discount, and you'll get your free gift entered. Then come back, place an order for some of the beautiful plants. We're going to come back to that in a little while, but what we're going to do is take you over to our favourites table. We've still got those new items to show you over that side, so stick around. We're going to come to those very soon. The beautiful tea plant, the Dahlia, and I've forgotten what the other... Oh, the Oleander yellow, yes, of course. So those are the new ones to show you. We'll come to those very soon. But this is what we call our favourites table. So we do our shows on a Wednesday, a Thursday and a Sunday. Sunday is the last of this show, so we'll have a new show for next week. But these have proven to be the most popular throughout the week. Now I'm going to start with one of my favourites, and that is the Bowls Mauve, because this is one of the most floriferous, and by that I mean you get loads of flowers for a really long time. Normally what we say is 10 months worth of flowers on here, and that is 100% true. I know it is because I've got it in my garden. I even had flowers on here in December and January. Only 1 or 2, admittedly, but it still threw up flowers even in the coldest months. This flowers for ages.
It does, Bex, and over the years I've seen these in people's gardens, and they seem to grow in shade, they grow in full sun, they grow in dappled shade. They're incredibly robust, they're very frost tolerant, they're drought tolerant. They're plants that just keep giving and giving and giving and giving. Some perennials might flower for a couple of weeks and then that's it, it's all over. But these, as Beck said, month after month after month after month, these fabulous spikes of gorgeous, gorgeous purple flower.
And what I love, can you see the shade variation that you're getting with those flowers as well?
It's their age, isn't it?
Really interesting. It's not just one shade of purple. You've got multiple shades in there, and that really adds depth and interest.
And it does, and it's the way the light hits the flower as well. When the light hits the flower in a different way, you get that sort of deep purple, then you get that one at the top there, that little flower in the middle. It's slightly different purple to the sort of the ones around it. But look how many more buds are crammed in at the top of that stem. Well, same as the one here. I mean, already flowering there, and there's another 20, 30 buds kind of at the top here, just ready to come through. And of course, we're going to do what we always do.
Yes, this is where Adam gets all excited.
This is the bit we like doing.
He gets excited.
Out you come. Oh, come on.
All right, that needs a squeeze and tease, doesn't it? Before we plant that out, I'm going to squeeze the bottom of that, and I'm going to tease some of those roots away. But there's very little else that you need to do with this. Once you get it planted, honestly, it's super easy to look after. I will go around, once these start to fade, and I'll just chop these off. And you can see actually here, there's another flower bud down the bottom there. So that's probably where I'm going to chop it to, about there, because then there's another flower bud ready to come. There, look, can you see it? So once this fades, I'll probably just chop it off like that, and it just throws up so many more.
And another good thing about it as well, it's evergreen, isn't it? So all year through, it's got that foliage on it. And
it's quite nice as well, because you get a bed of foliage, and then the flowers rise up above it.
Yeah, and when they grow, they have that nice sort of just rounded kind of habit, and then and they don't get very tall. The actual foliage probably is only about as high as this card in front of me. Really, the foliage gets about, I don't know, about a foot high. They don't get massive, and then the foliage tends to stay at that same level, and then just continuously just throw out these flower spikes, don't they, for month after month after month. And I was actually going to take some I was saying this to Bex before the show, I was going to take some pictures of these yesterday. Stu just said, why didn't you then? I'm going to tell you why I didn't, because I've been bleating on about the fact that these ones were in a shady area where they were for most of the day. Just so happened yesterday when I was there, the sun was actually on them at that moment. I was like, typical. I want to take a picture showing you how good these are when they're in the shade pretty much all the time, and the sun was on them. But honestly, this place, this garden where I was looking after yesterday in St. Neots, there's been about a dozen of these in this border, and it only gets the sun for about an hour each day. It's in a kind of a back of the building. But even so, they've just kept flowering and flowering and flowering and flowering. And the only difference you normally find is if they're kind of in a shady or semi-shady area, they tend to get a little bit more, I wouldn't say leggy, but they're a bit more kind of loose.
Yes.
And the flower spikes tend to be a bit longer. If they're in full sun, they stay a little bit more compact, and the flower stems don't get so long. But in each case, they still flower just as well. You get just as many flowers, but the growth habit is just very, very different. Fantastic for pots, troughs, planters. You could even put these in a hanging basket if you wanted to. For the 18-inch hanging basket,
that'd be lovely.
You could put 3 of those in the basket, and then you could put other things around them. And you know what? You could pretty much leave those in all the time, and then just replant around the edges. Eat seasonally, so you could have these in the middle with perhaps some Sophinias hanging down, and then in the autumn you could swap them for pansy coolwave or something like that. But the staple plant in the middle would be these Ericiums or Bowles mauve, wallflower, flowering their socks off pretty much all the time. Well,
you are getting 3 of those, so we're thinking about those odd numbers when you're planting out. You'll get 3 of those, and a massive saving here, because it's an £18 saving as long as you enter our our code, our offer code, when you place your order, you will get these for £11.97. And of course, if you are a member of our club, you'll get a further 10% discount off there. Please do consider joining that club, because honestly, I mean, depending on how much you spend in your first order, but you can sometimes make that money back instantly, and that's on your first order. And then of course you're a member for a full 12 months. £18 saving, all 3 of those delivered to you, and honestly I don't think that you will regret that in any way, shape or form. What was that, Stu? Just over half the people who have ordered so far are already club members. So there's just under half of you that might want to consider just thinking about joining that club. Right, so here is another one that I feel, I said it earlier on in the week, I haven't placed my order yet, but I think that this one is going to have to fall into my basket. I am a big fan. I mean, purples and blues, they really talk to me. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely adore them. This is the Polemonium. This is the Jacob's Ladder, you might know it as. And what I mean, there's so much to talk about with this. It's a bit like the Bowles mauve, as in you get this lovely bed of foliage at the bottom and then the flowers rise up above. But it's the colour mix of those flowers. It's the colour of the foliage. It's all of it together. I think they are stunning.
And this colour, I mean, it's not blue, it's not purple. It's kind of sort of in between colour. And you see the little stamens there as well. The little little yellow stamens. Look at that little one there. Look at those lovely little stamens coming out, and that gorgeous little purple flower.
The flowers look really silky, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They've got a real silk kind of look to them.
And I think it's the simplicity of the flowers as well, and the fact they're in these wonderful clusters. But like you were saying, Bex, this is a multifaceted plant, because even if we come down to the bottom, look at the little stems there, the leaf stems. They're a lovely reddish colour, like a little bronzy red colour on the leaf stem. And then you come to the leaves, and the leaves are green, and some of them are tinged with purple. So even the foliage in itself is interesting. In fact, if I just tilt that forward a little bit, you might be able to see. You can see those leaf stems with all the sort of lovely, sort of coppery sort of colours of the leaf stems, and some of the leaves are tinged with purple, some are green. So even the foliage is interesting, and it's called Jacob's Ladder because those sort of leaves look like sort of rungs of a ladder going up, and then you have this explosion of these lovely purple flowers on the top. And Polemoniums are so easy to grow. In fact, all the perennials we're bringing you today, there's no prima donnas here, and nothing needs super kind of fiddly attention or any special details or anything to worry about. I've seen Polemoniums grow in full sun, I've seen them grow in shade, I've seen them growing in dappled shade. They're not really fussy about soil in particular. In fact, I recounted about a garden that I used to look after in Bishop Stortford. The chap's moved now, but I planted some Polemoniums in a border for him. And it's quite shady at the back. In the summer, it was really dry. In winter, it sits really wet. But if anything came up every year at the back, it was always that little clump of Polemoniums, year after year after year. And then they have the sort of the main flower spike, and then quite often if you cut that main flower spike off when it's finished flowering, in fact, I can show you round here.
Oh yes, there's another one.
You see, there's a little side one there. So quite often, once you cut the main flower spike off, then you can see there's another little flower spike on the side. On the top there. And that will follow on another sort of couple of weeks after.
Amazing.
So you do get a good 5-6 weeks worth of flower out of these, if not more. Absolutely gorgeous plants. And
Eleanor apparently is just telling us that she bought one last year. Now, she bought one and she paid more for that one than we are charging for the 3 that we're bringing today. And I hope that really does highlight what we bring you at YGTV. It is very much about trying to bring the absolute best value for money. It should be £9.99 for each one of these. £29.97 is our usual price, but it's £16.97 today.
Which is an amazing price. And the thing is, Bex, what some garden centres might do, these are 9 centimetre pots. Some garden centres might put those in a 2 litre pot, and then instantly, I can think of one garden centre that would probably charge you $8.99, $9.99 per plant in a 2 litre pot. But you don't need to buy these in a 2 litre pot. These plants are already more than well established to go straight into the garden. Look at the root system on there. I mean, goodness me, that's, I say I've got a bit of a root fetish, but the thing is,
we love how excited you get about the roots. I'm with you.
It's the roots, roots every time.
It is. I mean, look, we're looking at the beauty above the ground, but we have to know that there is health and well-being below the ground, and that's why we try and show you the root structures on the plants that we're bringing you.
Because with that fabulous root system, you know when you put that plant in the ground, that is going to establish really, really quickly. In 24 hours, those little roots are going to start to penetrate out into the surrounding compost or soil. They're going to start absorbing the water, the nutrients, and that plant's going to grow away. And, you know, polemoniums, they're a very long-lived perennial. You know, these will come up year after year after year after year. This is sort of a compact variety. I mean, it's only going to get sort of about 30, sort of 40 centimetres tall, and they just form a nice little clump. They sort of die down in the autumn. They don't disappear completely. They just
they're
sort
not
of,
completely herbaceous,
no,
are they?
they go down to kind of little rosette on ground level, sit quietly through the winter, and then bang, every spring you get this, a festival of colour.
Yeah, I hope you're going to add those into your basket. They are definitely going to fall their way into my basket later on. 561253 is your item number. Go to our website, yougarden.com, to place your order. Do remember to use the code that you're seeing on the screen there, YGTV1624. That's the offer code. When you place your order, there's a little box just at the side of the screen and it says, do you have an offer code? Yes, you do. That is the code you need to enter. That's how you get all the savings. Oh, by the way, our phone lines are open on the weekend as well, just until 4 o'clock, but that gives you plenty of time to consider what you would like to get. If you want to phone through and speak to somebody and place your order, you absolutely can. Just make sure that you give them the item code, not the item code, the offer code, so that you get that saving. You can place your order tomorrow, by the way. You don't have to place it today. It's up to you when you place your order. I just encourage you to give us a go.
Is there a risk, though, if you don't do it today, by tomorrow, some of these?
Well, there are a few low stocks. Stu's going to let us know as and when we get to them. The stock that we have isn't just for us. This is the thing to remember. We're a big business, we're a mail order, and we sell in lots of different places. So it's not just about people that buy from YGTV, it's people in wider business.
And when you see things like this polemonium, for example, I mean, if they were in a garden centre today, the end of aisle thing, they'd go in a day, wouldn't they? Because if I wish I did have some space in my garden. I think I could find some space,
actually.
Always
find space.
You can, yeah. But if I saw these and I had a space, I would buy these because they're stunning. Absolutely, they're just stunning.
Lovely,
stunning.
long-lived perennial, year after year joy, and they are just beautiful. 561253 is your item number. Okay, so this one we're going into. We've got a few grow your owns today. Actually, we've got a little bit of a few bits for you. We've got honeyberry. We've got this blueberry pink lemonade. There's a few items, and I'm going to encourage anybody at home, if you haven't got anything grow your own in your garden, give it a go, because it's not just about creating food that you can eat. It's about having beautiful plants in your garden. And I think with blueberries, they are beautiful in their own right. This one, however, is a little bit different because it's a pink blueberry. It's called pink lemonade, and you will get pink blueberries, or we've decided to call them blinkberries.
Blinkberries, yeah. I think there's a word for something. Is it oxymoron?
It's an oxymoron.
It is an oxymoron, is it? When something kind of just contradicts what it's meant to be, yeah.
You're an oxymoron. No.
Thank you. Love you too. But I mean, it's weird, isn't it? At the moment, all the bluebells are flowering, aren't they? But sometimes, you come and say, "Oh, I've seen some lovely white bluebells." It's like, now, have you seen white bells or bluebells?
I saw some white bluebells the other day. Actually, it made me chuckle.
Yeah, you just see white bluebells. So this is pink blueberries, or we've made up all silly names. We've called it blinkberry and so on. But as Bex was saying, there was a time when we always thought about fruit and vegetables and flowers all being separate, growing them in separate parts of the garden, never the twain shall meet kind of thing. But now there is a kind of, in recent years, there's been more of a sort of a movement to combine vegetables and fruits with other ornamental plants. And the reason being is because with something like this blueberry, for example, it is such, as you just said, such a beautiful plant in its own right.
Gorgeous. You get lovely, blossom flowers
Yeah,
on there.
little kind of lantern flowers.
Really interesting. I mean, you were saying blueberries. I'm growing some, so I know myself. But the foliage in the autumn gives such a fiery display as well, doesn't it? They're interesting in their own rights, just as gorgeous plants.
Yeah.
But then you get the added benefit of them being functional. You can actually eat the fruits.
And the great thing about these as well is I think that's really good for getting kids to kind of, children, your grandchildren to eat fruits as well, because they produce these gorgeous, bright pink, super sweet, delicious fruit. And you know, sort of children are more attracted, aren't they, to those kind of bright sort of colours. They look more yummy, more yumptious. Look at those. I mean, absolutely divine, aren't they? I mean, the fruit looks nice just as an ornamental, but I mean, obviously, you know, some shrubs you might see fruit like that, but it's not edible. You can't eat it. Things like Gaultherias and stuff have berries like that. But the beauty of this is the berries look stunning while they're ripening, but then you can just pluck them off one by one and just eat those berries straight from the shrub. And goodness me, you know, when you eat blueberries or pinkberries or blinkberries straight from the plant at that perfect moment when they're so ripe, they're bursting with vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and juice and natural sugars. Oh, goodness me, they're going to be stunning. And kind of, we were laughing the other day because we've got some other fruit on the show, and we were just saying about the great range of colours you could do, because we're going to talk a little while about a honeyberry that's got really deep purple fruit. This has got pink fruit. We're going to do a kiwi that's got green fruit. So
we're making a pavlova, basically.
We are, yeah.
We're excited about the pavlova we're going to have later on in the year.
Or a psychedelic fruit salad. Yeah. Get rid of the old boring fruit salad. Chopped banana that goes off colour after a while. You know, chopped crunchy apple, chopped crunchy pear. You know, get all that out of the way. Let's go funky. Let's go different. Let's go modern. Let's kind of bring in these really super modern fruits and create something we've not seen before.
Yeah, I love the idea of it, and it is just £7.99 today. It's almost a half price deal for this. I am shopping. I've literally just logged into my account on my phone.
I wonder what you're doing.
And I might just be putting that, I'm definitely going to be putting this into my basket. I've got blueberries growing, but I want pink blueberries to go with them. I think that's going to be really, really interesting.
I thought you was transferring more money into your offshore account.
Sure, that's what I'm doing.
I thought you were. I can see the Seychelles on there. I was wondering.
310028 is the item number. Do make sure you enter that code YGTV1624. Otherwise, you will be paying £14.99. We don't want you to do that. We want you to pay £7.99. Pink blueberries, absolutely, and they're supposed to be a bit sweeter, aren't they?
Yeah, a bit sweeter. Yeah, in fact, it's good they are pink actually, because if they were purple as well, we'd kind of have a whole run of purple. We're very purple today on this table.
I'm going to put that in because I've got a big pot, so I'm going to put it in a pot with the other blueberry.
Yeah, one other thing to just mention as well.
Yes.
Yeah. If in your garden at the moment you've got rhododendrons, azaleas, those kind of things, blooming away, lovely green leaves, looking really healthy, they've been there for years, you can plant the blueberries straight into the same soil as they're growing in. If you haven't got that kind of soil, you will need to grow blueberries in a pot, and it's dead simple. Just get some of that ericaceous compost. They'll be really happy in that compost. It will keep them green and vibrant and healthy. And you can either keep them in the pot and just keep the pot on your patio somewhere sunny and keep them well watered, or you can actually plunge the pot into the garden itself. Just keep the lip of the pot above the edge of the soil, and that way the soil in the pot will remain acidic while the soil around it can't leach in and make it more alkaline. So yeah, you can grow these so easily just with a little bit of extra effort.
Yeah, very easy to do. If you need some ericaceous compost, we do have it. It's on our website. Just go into the website and in the search bar up at the top type in Eric, E-R-I-C, and it will bring it up for you, so you can get that delivered direct to your door as well. Right, so let's talk about Thalictrum, little pinky. I love what you were saying about this one, because this is sort of, we often talk about being able to transition seasons, you know, because you've got spring, you've got summer, or the spring bulbs are starting to go over. Not many tulips are left, are they? They're starting to go over, or they've got battered by the winds. And we're waiting for all that summer colour, the spring bulbs, the summer bulbs, the summer flowers to come.
And the spring bulbs, there's loads of summer bulbs, there's loads of summer bulbs, yeah.
So this is the period where things go a little bit quiet before they perk back up again, but Thalictrum is in flower now. It's a great one to transition those seasons.
Yeah, exactly, Bex, and like the polemonium we were just talking about, and I've got Thalictrum in my garden, but I've got one called Delavaei, and I went out this morning, it's already up to kind of waist height, mine's quite tall. This is much more compact, this is about sort of 20, 30, 40 centimetres, so a nice compact plant, but again, Thalictrum are so tough, long-lived, they'll come up, 20, 30, 40 years, they'll keep coming back.
Wow.
Again, not particularly super fussy about soil, they'll grow in most soils, most positions, full sun, dappled shade. I've got mine at the back of a border where they don't particularly get a lot of sun. They did when the border first went in, because everything was kind of short, but now lots of things have grown up and the Thalictrum have been left at the back, but they still flower their socks off even though they're in full sun all day. They flower for a good long period, like 4 to 6 weeks of those sort of lovely flowers, and even the foliage is gorgeous as well. Almost reminds me of those sort of maidenhair fern kind of foliage. And oh, here we go. Oh,
just giving Adam a thrill. Giving him a thrill. Check out those roots on there.
Look at those roots.
Those are good. And look, this is important, isn't it? Because do you know what? It's holding on to all of the compost around it. That means you've got a really good root structure. If sometimes you take a plant out of its pot and all the compost falls away from it,
walk away.
That is not a good sign, is it?
No, don't buy that plant. You know, look at that. I mean, that's super sexy root system. That is. I mean,
super sexy.
That is gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
that plant is going to become established so easily, so quickly. Yeah, this is the quality with all our plants all the time. We pull them out of the pots all the time. And I know there's a viewer that got told off for Elaine got told off for pulling plants out of a pot. Elaine, keep doing it, lady.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Be bold. You don't want to buy some plant that's got it's only been put in that pot 2 days ago and hasn't got any proper root system. And
because sometimes they do that, don't they? They take a smaller pot, a smaller plant, and put it into a bigger pot because then they can charge more for it.
And technically, there are rules that garden centres are meant to follow when they do that. And I mean, I do know of a garden centre near I used to live, and the guy there was really, really honest, because if he potted things on, he put a little sign up just saying recently repotted.
Yes.
So you kind of knew. Yeah. But I've had this at work when I've ordered plants en masse from a particular supplier, not this supplier, I will definitely say, but not for most, but occasionally. And they're charging me $9.99 for a 2 litre pot. You do the thing kind of professionally where you get the pot like that, you put it between, you do this, you pull the pot off, and then all the soil falls off. Yeah, and basically you're left with this little 9-centimetre root ball because the rest was just compost.
Yeah.
Well, that never happens with our plants because they're all grown on so brilliantly, such quality. Lifetime guarantee on this as well, because anything that's perennial, we give that lifetime guarantee. And even when these little purple flowers have gone over, for the rest of the summer, you've got that gorgeous foliage on these. It turns a lovely buttery yellow in the autumn before it dies down. And again, even the stems on those becks, the actual leaf stems have got that nice sort of purpley, coppery colour to them.
They have.
It's a plant that, like the polemonium, the more you look at it, the more facets and interest you see.
It is beautiful, and you are getting a double up deal here. So if you want one, by all means, you can get it for $9.99 and a 10% discount if you're in the club. But if you want to go for that double up deal, obviously there's greater value for that. Put 2 in your basket and you'll get both of those for £14.99. So it works out £7.50 each. And obviously you'll still get that 10% discount off there as well if you're a part of our club. So another grow your own is what we're moving on to next, which is, and I've got this grown in my garden, this is the honeyberry. So if you are put off by blueberries and the pink blueberry that we've got because of the ericaceous thing, then I'm going to suggest you go for this one, because actually what you're going to get from this is beautiful, sort of elongated, they look like elongated blueberries, deliciously sweet, really tasty, packed with antioxidants, but these don't require ericaceous.
No, these are so easy to grow. I've got one in my front garden. What sort of soil have you got, Bex?
I have very heavy clay soil.
So you've got really heavy clay. In our front garden, we've got very light, sandy, kind of loamy soil. So yours is doing really well in that soil. Ours is doing brilliantly well in our soil. I think Sean, who works here as well, his garden is very open. He's got quite dry, again, sort of crumbly soil. He's got one doing really well in his garden. So basically, they are very easy fruit to grow. They grow pretty much anywhere. Not particularly fussed about position, not particularly fussed about soil. They flower. They have lovely little sort of honeysuckle-shaped flowers because they are a member of the honeysuckle family, and they're kind of like a shrubby, woody sort of plant. So you might be thinking, if we're saying honeysuckle, you might be looking out in your garden and thinking, oh yeah, that's going to need support, isn't it? Like my honeysuckle in my garden. This won't. This is a standalone shrub with rigid stems. You can see all the little shoots coming out of the side there.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over, by the way. Like literally every sort of leaf joint, you can see those shoots just coming out the side there. It's a really well-established plant, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we can get that one out the pot. I don't think we've ever taken that one out the pot. Wait, we've done that one before. Or like there's the squeeze and tease.
I'll just give it a little squeeze. It just loosens it up.
Get in there.
And then hopefully.
Here we go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, goodness me. Come on. I mean, look again. I mean, that
There's
is
loads of roots at the bottom there, look.
super established plant there. I mean, it's just a square block of roots. So again, you're getting this in the garden. You're getting such a a super established plant. This plant has been put in that professional compost. It's been watered. It's been fed. It's been pruned back at the top. So you're not just getting some weaselly, thin kind of plant. You're getting a multi-stemmed, bushy, well-established plant that's going to establish in your garden within days. Lifetime guarantee on this as well, because it's really hardy, and just the most amazing different fruit that you probably never tasted the likes of in your life.
They're very sweet, they're very juicy, they're supposed to have a flavour that's like a bit of a kiwi with a hint of, gooseberry, hint of kiwi flavour to them. Packed with antioxidants as well. Have a little search for honeyberries if you're wondering, because they're that dark-skinned fruit which tend to be really healthy, really good for us, but more importantly, really tasty and something that you can grow yourself in your garden with very little effort. And that's what we absolutely enjoy. Adam's mentioned the lifetime guarantee a couple of times. Just to explain that to you, if you're looking at a product on our website and at the top of the page, when you click into the item, there's these little symbols at the top of the page. If there's one that looks like a snowflake and it says winter hardy underneath it, that means that it comes with a lifetime guarantee. There we go, Stu's showing it to you right there. That's the symbol you're looking for. The lifetime guarantee means that if this plant fails to thrive in your garden, if it dies, basically, all you have to do is get in touch with our customer services department and we will replace it for you absolutely free of charge. All you have to do is cover any postage costs to get it out to you, but no other cost included. And I love letting you know that, because it really gives you confidence to give us a go. Try shopping with us. If you're umming and ahhing, if you've never sort of bought, mail order plants before and you're like, well, how does that work? That gives you the guarantee that you need to give us a go and maybe order something from us today. 310070 is the item number. Just go to yougarden.com to place your order and make sure you enter the code YGTV1624. That is what will unlock your savings. That was what will give you your buy one, get one free. That's what will put a free gift into your basket when you place your order. Every week that we've been live here from YouGarden, we have given you a little added benefit, a free gift. This one is a pack of 75 anemone blanda bulbs. £9.99 is what we normally retail these for, but that will be absolutely free when you enter the code YGTV1624. Right, rolling my sleeves up.
Okay.
Anybody who comes into the potting shed, they cannot walk past this table and not touch it. They just can't do it. It's not possible, is it?
It's like that, remember that advert for that sweet? They said, can you put this sweet in your mouth and not chew?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And it's like, no. You cannot put one of those sweets in your mouth and not chew. And it's like, you cannot walk past this compost and not put your hands in it.
Smell it, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I have to give it a sniff.
I think it
smells fresh.
It just connects you with the soil, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It connects you with the ground. It almost connects you with nature, really, when you smell this, because it's got that fresh outside kind of, lovely smell to it.
And I've done it in the past where I have bought other compost. We've all done it, and I try not to. I try to always have a stock of this because I know how good it is, but I have bought other compost, and every time I do it I am disappointed. And sometimes I've opened the bag up and it's got this really rank, dank, horrible, musty smell to
mildewy, mouldy kind of smell.
You never get that with this.
No, this is always fresh. It always comes out the bag so loose, so open, which is really important because obviously when the structure of the compost is open like this, it lets the air get down to the roots, it lets the water percolate through, it allows those little tiny roots to kind of get down in the soil. I'm just going to grab something actually, because when you've got like a little plant, for instance, like one of our little Dahlia plugs here, and you've got that little sort of established but delicate root system on the bottom there, you need to know, when you put this little plant into this compost, little tiny baby plant, and we dig a little hole and you plonk that into there, put that compost around it. I mean, that Dahlia is going to be in nirvana now, because honestly, it's in heaven. We are giving that Dahlia the best start in life because the air is going to get down to those little delicate roots. This has got a wetting agent in it as well, so that means the compost wants to absorb moisture. It wants to hold on to that moisture, so that's going to sustain that Dahlia with moisture. The air is sustaining the roots, and then we've got a little slow release fertiliser. We've got a little bead here, a little slow release fertiliser bead there. That's going to keep feeding this Dahlia. So from this size to this size to this size to this size, you know, this Dahlia is just going to be so healthy, Bex, and that's what's so brilliant about this compost. It's pH balance as well, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline, but it's a simple but brilliant mix. That's the thing. There's no hydroceramides or kind of, you know, hyaluronic acids or kind of any of those weird old things in this. It's just good old-fashioned professional compost.
My dad used to rant at the telly whenever whenever an advert came on for some kind of beauty product, and it would be some fandangled name.
Polypeptides.
Oh, added this now.
Yeah.
You don't need to think about that. Honestly, we've done all of the work for you. We've got real experts here at YouGarden who've worked in horticulture all their life, very much like Adam. You know, they basically came out of the womb saying, "I want to go in the garden," and they really have put all of their effort into creating the most beautiful compost, one that is packed with all these ingredients, backed by science, which you don't need to worry about. We don't need to get baffled by that. What we know is that this is the compost of choice. I have used this compost for years now. It's the compost I choose to use. Everything I've got growing in my conservatory, every time I plant something out in the garden, in the borders, I dig some of this into that hole. I've got really thick, heavy clay soil, which was packed with nutrients. It's great, but there is no space for roots to grow.
No.
I dig a load of this in with it, and it really helps to loosen that texture up.
All my houseplants are in this, Bex, as well. So they didn't used to be, but I've pretty much over the years repotted all of them now, and when I do repot them, they're always in this compost. And some of them, I've actually mixed the compost a little bit. I mean, for instance, I've got some cacti that kind of like a bit more of a gravelly compost, but I've used a little bit of this as well, and I've just mixed it with some grit and stuff like that. So you can modify this a bit if you want.
Yep.
But honestly, yeah, just incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Let me say that again. It really is incredible. And if you are one of our newer viewers and you're just sitting there going, well, they're just talking about dirt, what's wrong with them?
Dirt?
I love saying that. Adam gets really mad when I say that. It's not. It is compost. It is going to feed your plant. It's like 5 a day for your plants. So if we lived on takeaway food for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day of the week, we'd be pretty poorly, wouldn't we?
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah. Wouldn't look good.
We need our 5 a day, and our plants need their 5 a day as well. And this gives them that 5 a day. Think of it in those sorts of terms. Delivered direct to your door as well, which, listen, I mean, that's worth some money as well, isn't it? There is no postage attached to this. You don't have to worry about getting to the garden centre, lugging a bag, getting the wonky trolley, getting it into the back of the car, getting covered in dirt and all the rest of it. And also, you don't know how long those bags have been sat on those pallets. This is delivered in fresh to our nursery on a regular basis because we sell so much of it. We get a regular delivery of this. It's always going to be amazing, amazing quality. All of the roses that we've potted on, all of the hanging baskets that we will be bringing you very soon, the pre-made hanging baskets, this is the compost that we choose to use here at the nursery. So 2 50-litre bags delivered direct to your door with no postage cost attached at all. 100125 is your item number. Right, I'm going to give you a little reminder of some of the items that we have seen so far, and then we're going to be going over and looking at some of our newer items for you. So first of all, we have the wallflower, the Ericium, the Bowls Mauve. I'm highly recommending this to you. Adam is highly recommending this to you because this is a plant that requires very little maintenance, very little attention, but flowers for 10 months of the year. It is incredible that it flowers for that long. It's winter hardy, super simple to look after, and you're getting 3 of those pots with an £18 saving. That's a massive saving, honestly. Enter the code YGTV1624 in order to get that saving. 560069 is your item code that you need. Now, this one is going to be falling into my basket today, along with the pink blueberry. This is the Polemonium, or also known as Jacob's Ladder. The colour combination with the foliage and the flowers here is just incredible. Beautiful kind of olivey green and lighter green foliage, and it creates this lovely bed at the bottom, and then these flower spikes that rise up out of the top. And the colour of they're not purple, they're not light, they're just They're incredible, honestly. Lovely yellow stamens on there as well that really highlight against that purple. 3 of those pots with a £13 saving. You can get those home if you're a club member for £15.27. 561253 is your item number. Oh, and you were saying those are really long-lived as well, weren't you, Adam? Those can live a long time.
They do, yeah. Year after year after year.
Lovely.
No problem there.
Love that idea. Now then, blueberry, pink lemonade. It's a pink blueberry. This one's going into my basket. Now, blueberries are delicious. They're great when you grow them yourself, but these are a slightly sweeter variety and they're a gorgeous pink colour as well. Nearly a half price deal on that one for you. £7.99 is the price that you will pay if you enter the offer code. It's in a 2-litre pot. It's really nicely established. I'd like to think you'll get fruits this year. I'd like to. I can't guarantee it, but you can certainly get fruits for many, many years to come. All you need to be considerate of is ericaceous compost. So if you already have ericaceous kind of soil and stuff in your garden, then great, you can plant these out into borders. If you haven't, then do consider growing this in a nice sunny spot in a pot on your patio. That's what I'm doing with my blueberries. £7.99, 310028 is your item number. And carrying on with our Grow Your Own section, this is the honeyberry. This one was relatively new. I remember this being an absolute winner last year, and it's obviously continued to be this year because it's on our favourites table. Really nicely established plant in a 1.7 litre pot. They look like elongated blueberries, but they have they're bigger and they're juicier and they're slightly sweeter as well. These do require that ericaceous compost. Now they are self-fertile, but we are recommending that you go for 2 of these. You do get better fruit production from it. I've got 2 growing next to each other in the garden. Mine were planted as babies, so I'm waiting for the fruit to come. I'm very excited. Go for that double up deal because they will work out about £7.50 each, or you can just go for the one at £9.99 if you wish. 310070 is your item number. And then we have our Thalictrum, the little pinky, which Adam has been talking about as being a beautiful transitional plant. One that gives us that gorgeous colour between our spring bulbs kind of fading and going over, and whilst we're waiting for all that summer colour. This just gives you that gorgeous transition. Really interesting kind of fuzzy flowers that you get on here. The foliage is super interesting as well, and it is a perennial that will come back for you for many, many years. Probably decades is what you're going to get out of your Thalictrum.
Definitely long-lived bed.
Definitely, not probably, definitely. £8.99 if you're in the club for 1, or you can go for 2 for £14.98 if you do the double up deal. With a double up deal, what you do is you put 2 in your basket. You put 2 in and then you enter the code, and that's where you'll see those savings start to appear. We'll give you some basket examples later on just so you can see how easy it is and how many savings you can get by shopping with us direct at YGTV. Now then, we're back to where we started the show. We started at the showstopper, I think, or one of the show. We've got a few showstoppers, but this is definitely one of them. This is our Callistemon, and it is the standard as well. You've got a £10 saving on this, so it's just £29.99. This is going to make people ask you questions. They will definitely want to know what this is, where you get it, and how they can get one. Now, Sean Ryan went out onto the nursery when he was here just last week and had a little look at these. Shall we have a little look at what he saw when he went out on the nursery floor?
I can honestly say that the Callistemon that we've got right now at YouGarden, I think they're the finest I've ever seen. I mean, they must be, I'm not going to count them all, but they must be, what do you reckon, 1,000 maybe? But anyway, let me just pick one. Look at these. They're absolutely beautiful. And just to prove, let's go random. Okay, I'll close my eyes. I'm being silly now. What's that look like? Yay, there you go. Oh, I've just knocked one over as well, but they look, sorry, that won't do. But they are absolutely gorgeous. And what I love about them, they've been grown as a standard. So you often see in the UK the bush Callistemon, but these have been grown as standards. The flowers are amazing. It's often called the Bottlebrush plant. They're actually really soft. The pollinators love them, but they are relatively hard in the UK. We say down to about -4, -5. I think grow them in pots. I'll be honest, I would probably put that in a really nice pot straight away. We're just going to have a look at the roots. Wow, yeah, look at those. They are just so well grown, amazing quality. There's loads of buds waiting to come out. And yeah, you can buy all 1,000 if you want, or maybe just buy 1 or 2. But some of the most stunning that I've ever seen here at YouGarden.
Oh yeah, Sean just showed you the roots, so I decided I'd get this one out and show it. It gives Adam a thrill when I show him the roots. Look, check out that root structure on there. These are really healthy, quality plants, aren't they?
They are. I mean, look at that lovely white fibrous root system there. So this plant's going to get established very quickly. That lovely straight stem on there as well. That standard stem and that multi-stemmed head at the top there, full of these gorgeous red flowers, stunning sort of bottlebrush flowers. In fact, if I just tilt them forward a bit, you can actually really kind of see into
yeah, you can see how many are there, but you can also see, look at all these stems here that you've got with the buds just waiting to burst open. As you were saying, Adam, there is weeks and weeks worth of colour left on this.
Absolutely.
But also it's an evergreen as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks good. In fact, even if you turn it around, you can see it from the other way around as well. I mean, just evergreen looks good all the year through. A great plant for a container or a tub, a conservatory, cold conservatory if you want to, or a porchway or somewhere like that. If you're going to plant it in the garden, plant it somewhere as sheltered as possible, south-facing, perhaps against a wall of a house, somewhere really nice and warm and sunny. If you're in a really cold area, put it in a pot and then you can put it somewhere. It doesn't have to be warm in the winter. It doesn't matter if it's only 2 or 3 degrees, as long as it doesn't... What I'm trying to say to you is if you're somewhere in the winter that's going to get, say, a -7 or a -8, this would not like that. That wouldn't be good.
But in most areas of the country, this is going to be absolutely fine.
Absolutely,
very little extra work you've got to do to it.
Yeah, and it will take frost down to sort of -3, -4 degrees quite easily. You could fleece it if you wanted to. But come on, let's face it. I mean, for a plant that is so stunningly beautiful, so attractive, that little extra bit of effort to perhaps look after it in an extreme or cold winter is nothing, is it really? I mean, for the months of pleasure and joy this plant's going to give, that little extra effort is well worth doing
it's
for
totally
me.
worth it. It's very unique as well, I think, just the way that the flowers form. It's very interesting.
It's
and
elegant.
Just as it matures, you're going to get so many of these bright red bottlebrush-like blooms on here.
Yeah, and you can leave it to become loose like it is now. You can leave it to just have a loose habit, or if you want to, you can prune or clip these. So if you wanted to sort of make it into a ball shape, into a topiary shape, you could do that as well. And they have a bit of a weird habit, callistemons, as well, because after they're flowered, they leave their little seed pods on the stem. And they stay on the stem for years. So when you see a plant that's got quite a long stem, you'll see little clusters of these like little nut-shaped objects up the stem every so often, and that shows you how many years it's been flowering. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really kind of strange thing it does, but just brilliant shrubs. Some of them even have, I don't know if this one does, but sometimes some of them have, oh yeah, there you go.
Kind of a citrusy flavour to
it. Fragrance.
Fragrance.
Yeah, I know that because I found that out when I was trimming one once. I was clipping it. I thought, oh, that's lovely. Yeah, so it's a nice citrusy kind of fragrance to the foliage as well.
Well, it's a £10 saving here at YGTV this morning, so you can get this home for £29.99, and of course you'll get a 10% discount off this as well if you are in our club. The club is a great thing to be a member of. It costs you just £5 to join the club. That is your membership for the entire year, and you'll get 10% discount off your plants, your pots, your compost. And with this one, it's a £3 saving. £3 saving, so you've almost paid for that club membership with just this one item right here. £5 on auto renewal. If you just want a one-off, 1-year membership, you can pay £10, but we definitely recommend that you go for the £5 one because you can cancel that auto renewal at any point. However, if you keep the auto renewal going, when it auto renews, it will auto renew at £5. So even if we put the cost of the club membership up, you will never pay more than the £5 that you originally paid. And that's going to give you that 10% off your plants, your accessories, your pots, your compost. You'll even get 5% off your kind of outdoor living and gifts items as well, because you can shop the entire website. It's not just the items we bring you here on our YGTV shows. We are here every week from 10 o'clock on a Wednesday, a Thursday and a Sunday. Sometimes we'll play around with those times and dates, but we'll always keep you informed. If you want to just go onto the website, you can see, or if you want to give us a little follow on any of our social media pages, you can. Obviously, there's YouGarden, there's mine, I'm Rebecca Bex-Edwards, and of course there's Adam Woolcott as well. Stu's going to put the details on the bottom there. Those are my socials, and Adam's will pop up in a second. Now then, we've got a couple of new, in fact 3 absolutely brand new items to show you. So these were not here on Wednesday and Thursday, but they are here today, you lucky Sunday people. Now what we've got is the gorgeous Oleander, and this is the kind of creamy yellow shade of Oleander. And Adam said to me this morning, and listen, it's personal choice and it's personal preference, but you think that these are a bit more classy than maybe some of the other shades?
Yeah, well, yeah, how can I put it? The pink, we've always seen pink in the Oleanders. We always kind of think, and they are stunning, they are beautiful. But for me, I just like this colour. It's slightly more understated. I think it's just a little bit more elegant. But you know what? They're all beautiful. They're all absolutely stunning, and it's all in the eye of the beholder. At the end of the day, it's all personal choice.
Own favourites,
yeah, but I just think personally it'd be nice to just try an Oleander that's a different colour that perhaps you've not grown before. But again, different colour, but the same astounding quality on these as well.
Really good quality. And
Brilliant.
I'm just tipping that forward because look at how many buds are on that plant right there.
That's insane, isn't it?
I mean, and the thing is, and I'm sure we've got some video to show you, but the quality and the standards of these, like they all look amazing. When we go and look at these on the nursery floor, they all look like this. This is the perfect, oh, there we go, look. Look at how uniform they all are. I mean, this was done, was it last week or the week before, Stu? Last week. And I'm seeing already even more buds coming through. Obviously, those are the pink ones we're looking at there, but they're all incredible, and we have the same deal available, which is a buy one, get one free. These are normally £29.99 each. But not here at YGTV. If you put one in your basket and enter our code YGTV1624, we will automatically put another one into your basket for you. So this works out as £15 each. It should be £60 for 2. You're paying £30 for 2. And this is the difference by shopping direct at YGTV. If you went onto our regular website, I think it's £60 for 2 of them. But not here. We're going to show you right now, actually. Let's go and have a look at the website. So we're going to put the item number in, 680059. Click on there, look, and as you can see, wow, 1 for £29.99 or 3 for £89.97. So you could put, yeah, honestly, the savings are crazy. So look, add one into your basket, go and have a little look. Now we need to put the code in, YGTV1624. Apply the code. Oh, and now look what's happened. So the other one has been entered into our basket. We've also got our free bulbs included into the basket as well. And now we are spending £36.98 because we've got postage attached to there. But what we're saving £30 plus £10 worth of bulbs in there as well. So we're saving nearly £40. Now all we need to do is get that basket to over £40 so that we can get rid of that postage cost entirely. So all you have to do is just make a little list of all the items that you want. I'm making a running list while we're going through the show today so that I can place my order once we come off air. Now, oleanders, they're very easy to look after, aren't they?
They are. I mean, these are hardy down to about -5 as well, so you know they're hardier than what you think they are. They're very drought tolerant. They're great for full sun positions as well. They grow in quite poor soils. I mean, when you see them growing in Spain and Italy, for example, quite often they're growing sort of down the middle of motorways, on the edge of embankments and roads and stuff, on quite stony, gravelly, poor soils. Evergreen, which is good, so they look good all the year through, but they just bring that feeling of holidays, of being abroad, of kind of something a bit exotic and a bit different into your own back garden, you know, into your kind of your own home and stuff. That's what I like about them. They, you know, they really do sort of bring that sort of, yeah, just that different feel, don't they, Bex? To the, oh my goodness me, look what you've put me off my.
I put you off because I showed you some roots.
You've knocked me off track of what I'm saying now. Look at that. Whoa.
No, these are incredibly good quality, and I do want to highlight that for you because we work with the best breeder in the world, basically. So we work with a Sicily-based breeder, and if you want to set an account with them, by all means, you can join their waiting list. Their waiting list currently means that you'll be able to work with them sometime after 2030.
Oh, okay.
Because they are that good, they are that popular. We have an amazing relationship with our growers and our breeders. We had to go onto a waiting list to get to work with them, but we've been working with them for several years now, and our head gardener is so pleased because the quality of these oleanders is second to none.
Well, what I like is on that one there, if you just pick that one up again, Bex, that one you've got there, look, so there's three, six, 9.
Yeah,
there's
9
a little skinny
stems.
one, but yeah, 3, 6, 9 stems. So and pretty much every single one will have 9 stems, 3 groups of 3 stems. So you've got 9 stems in each pot. So you've got not just one spindly little stick and that's it. You've got like a whole miniature shrub of oleander in there, if you like, kind of growing together, creating that nice thicket of oleander. You've got leaves all the way down to soil level as well, which is absolutely phenomenal.
They really are.
And you can see the way they've grown these. Look, you can see that originally it was
stopped it in the middle, haven't they?
It was 3 individual plants, and then they've stopped that plant or chopped it off low down. Then each one has produced another 3 stems. So now you've got that super compact bushy plant that will get to about a metre and a half eventually once it matures. But oh my goodness me, we're only in April already, only April at the moment, and these can flower all the way through the summer, right into sort of late summer, early autumn.
They can go right the way through to September, October even, depending on obviously the weather forecasts and things, but they can keep going that long, can't they?
They keep going that long, and the secret to getting them to go that long is, again, if you want these, put them in the sunniest, warmest, brightest part of the garden that you can put them in, which is ideal. And another thing you can do, they're absolutely incredible plants for pots. So again, that gives you the sort of opportunity to put them in that sunniest part of the garden as well. And when you sort of bring these sort of up to your patio doors, and you have this along with the callistemon, perhaps along with our bougainvillea, all of a sudden, oh my goodness me, you've created that kind of hotel garden kind of feeling, haven't you? You've created that kind of, that restaurant abroad kind of feeling with all these lovely Mediterranean flowers and colours and textures. Oh, they're gorgeous. Look at that. That's such a... Oh, I love it. I love that one. It's actually, it always reminds me of those polyanthes kind of flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of got a similar look to it, isn't it? The polyanthes that we bring sometimes. Tuberose, yeah. But,
well, mine are coming on.
Oh, good. Oh,
yeah.
I'm I didn't bother in the end. I'm jealous now.
No, I've got some green coming off those bulbs. I'm very excited. Keep tuned for the updates on the tuberose. But yes, that is our oleander deal. We have buy one, get one free available for you on our creamy yellow one, but we also have the same offer available on the pink one as well. So it's up to you, really. It depends on your preference. If you'd like to go for the yellow, the item number is 680059. Enter 1 into your basket, put the code in, the offer code YGTV1624, and we will put the other one into your basket for you. If you fancy the pink though, 680027 is the item number. Exactly the same deal, exactly the same price. Maybe you're feeling flush and you want 4. You want 2 pinks and 2 yellows. Put one of each into your basket. It'll be just under £60 for 4 of those plants, and you will pay no postage because you will be over the £40 mark, because obviously we take away any postage if you get up to that £40 in your basket.
But I was just thinking there as well, because I remember a moment ago you gave an example on there where we saved £40.
Yes.
So
you've got £40 to spend.
So you've got
40,
yeah. So you could get 2 of these oleanders and still be £10 down on what you was originally expecting to spend.
And then I think you should add in...
Well, £10 up, I should say.
your Jacob's Ladder or the pink lemonade, or perhaps the honeyberry, or... I'm going to add this in.
But it's like walking into a shop in it and thinking, I'm going to walk into that shop today and I'm going to get a dining room table and 6 chairs. And then you get in there and it's like, actually, I can get a sofa as well. for what I thought I was going to get the dining room chairs and table for. Wow, bring it on. It's good, isn't it? I love it.
I love your maths.
Don't bother saying that. More plants, more joy, more colour, more interest. That's what I'd be doing.
You can come shopping with me. I'm taking you shopping in future and not my husband.
Because
Deal?
But I'm up for that. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we'll shop till we drop.
Absolutely. All right, so this is number 2 of our brand new items to bring you here on YGTV, and wow, what an item to be bringing you. I'm going Dahlia mad this year. I've got Rebecca's World, I've got pom-poms, I've got oh, what was the other one? I don't know. I've got loads of them growing. I absolutely love dahlias because they flower for months and months and months. You can get cut flowers in. This one's a bit different though because it's a bit more compact, isn't it?
It is, and I don't, is there a kind of a little bit of a kind of a water lily kind of look to this, or is it just me?
I can see that. No, I can see that.
I can kind of see water lilies kind of in the shape of that flower, and also I'm looking. It's almost like I'm looking at one type of flower in the middle, and then and then that flower joins up with the other bit to make another flower, and then that bit joins up to the yeah. So it's like a flower in a flower in a flower. That's what I like. It's like a decoupage kind of dahlia flower there of all those different levels and layers of petals. I like the fact that it's compact. I love the colour as well, that sort of pinky colour with that sort of darker middle bit to it as well. And dahlias, I mean, such a fabulous bedding plant because months and months and months of colour. All summer long and easy. There's all you've got to do is deadhead them.
Yeah.
And just a little quick tip on that as well, because the flowers, buds that are about to come out and the ones that go over can look very similar, but normally the flower buds that are just going to come out are very round. The ones that have just gone over are a bit more kind of acorny shape.
I need to remember that.
Yeah, so that's the ones you want to cut off when you deadhead. But look at these, Bex.
So the pointier ones are the ones you cut off?
Yeah, they're the gone over flower heads, but the nice round ones, they're your flower buds that are going to be opening in the near future. Oh, that makes me die. Look at that. It's like a little, it's a perfectly square root system there. It's got nowhere else to go. It just wants to get into the pot, doesn't it? And the ground and
so what
grow.
we're going to do with these is we're going to pot them on. I mean, basically they need protecting from frost, so I'm going to let you make the decisions on that. I'm not planting my dahlias out yet. They're perfectly happy in my conservatory. I'm going to wait a little bit longer just in case. So it's up to you what you're going to do. Just protects them from frost. This one needs a squeeze and tease because the roots are going round, so all I'm going to do is give that a little squeeze before I plant it. I like my squeeze and tease. Give it a little squeeze. It just loosens, as you can see, loosens that root up there, and then I'm just going to tease that out, and then it's going to start finding its way down into, don't do that. Don't break the roots off. That was too much. It'll be fine, don't worry. But yes, plant that out and let it grow on a little bit, and then when you're ready, you can plant these out. Another tip, and I'm going to wait until it's a bit bigger before I start
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Pinching these out. It does need to be a bit bigger. I would suggest dahlias need to be a good that height before you start pinching out. But can you see this bit in the middle here? That's the bit that we will, when it's bigger, not now, we'll just pinch that out. What that encourages is side branching. What we want is that, isn't it? Because then it creates more flowers.
You can see these here, because this bit of quick science, this bit at the top is called the apical meristem. So that's the main growing point, and that growing point actually produces a chemical that subdues all the side shoots further down. So basically, the middle bit wants to be the boss. It wants to kind of grow and just be the only stem.
Yep.
But of course, as soon as you chop that middle bit out, that chemical is not produced anymore. And all the little side shoots think, yay, we got a chance now. So rather than just one straight up stem, you get lots of multi-branch stems come up all the way round. So more stems, more flowers.
Basically, that's the point. That's the reason you're doing it. You want to get as many flowers from these as possible. So pinching out dahlias is a really, really good thing to do. But as I say, just wait until, because if you do it too early, it bushes too much and then you get a bottom-heavy plant.
Yeah.
So you want to wait until your dahlia plants are probably about, I'd say, 8 to 12 inches tall, and that's when you can start pinching.
Yeah, and also if you pinch them out too soon, you've got to remember that plant's quite small, so it needs all the leaf it can get at the moment to photosynthesize, and that creates energy to make the plant grow. So if you pinch it out too soon, you're taking a lot of that, photosynthesizing kind of foliage away and slowing the plant down.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let it get a bit of a move on before you pinch the top out.
But other than that, once you've got them going,
that's it.
Flower after flower, you can get loads of cut flowers from these. In fact, the more flowers you cut from it, the more it will then encourage it to produce, and all summer long, and super, super easy.
Yeah, and when you cut flowers on a dahlia, cut them when they're just opened, because they don't normally come from bud. If you cut them in bud, they don't open out. So just as they're freshly opened, then cut yourself a nice bunch. And there's no reason as well why you can't get these throughs from year to year to year, because if you sort of in the winter time, if they're in pots, for example, if you just put the pot somewhere frost free for the winter, and let the pot dry out, the compost dry out, the tubers that little form as they grow, they will actually then take it through to the next year, and you can get them to start all over again.
Amazing.
So yeah, so you can just keep them going if you want.
All right, so maybe another one to be adding into our baskets. I don't know if I can add any more dahlias. 401521 is your item number. We are getting a £2 saving on there as well, as long as you enter that offer code YGTV1624.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Nearly 13 and 10.
Okay, so you can't get rid of your lawn yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. So
Can't wait so I can get rid of the lawn.
I'm thinking that, yeah, because I think probably by the time you finish, there's going to be just a little strip of grass in your garden.
Just be a path.
Little path.
Just a path.
Little sinuous path, and everything else will be plants and flowers.
I've got
I can
about
see it,
5
Bex.
years,
I can see it
before I can do it. Okay, so the final, we've got lots to show you, but the final brand new item that we've got for you is a tea plant, which I think is dead interesting.
Yeah, well, it's a camellia. It is literally a camellia. Camellia sinensis. This is the tea plant.
Camellias.
Yeah, well, this is the tea plant that tea comes from. I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to India a couple of times, and I went to a place called Munnar, and that's a really huge tea growing part of India. They actually have wild elephants that kind of go through at some point.
Wow.
Which sounds cool, as Stu said, but they're not too keen on because they all go through the tea plantations. But the elephants are protected. So that's, they get away with it.
They do what they like.
They do what they like. Yeah, and I've actually see the ladies go along with the bags on their back, picking the brand new leaves on the top. So if you want to grow a plant identical to the tea plant they're growing in China, in India, in them parts of the world, this is it. Gets to about 2.5 metres tall. Yeah. These lovely, lovely, gorgeous scented flowers that are autumn flowering in this country. So they flower very late summer into the autumn time. And this is quite a hardy plant. I'd recommend in a very cold, severe winter, perhaps fleece it, but through most winters, this will get through, and it likes sort of dappled shade.
An amazing price on this one as well. This is another one that's almost a half-price deal for you. It's £7.99 with a £7 saving. It comes to you in a 1.5 litre pot, so this is nicely established already for you. Very easy to grow. It's £7.19 if you're in the club, because obviously you get another 10% discount off there. And I think this is just something a little bit unusual, a little bit different, something that not all of us have got already in our gardens. Right, so we're going to move on now to one that's been very, very popular for us over the last couple of weeks, and this is the Petunia Sophinia. This is the burgundy yellow picotee. Now, we love Sophinia petunias anyway, don't we? They're bred to be disease resistant, weather resistant, amazing trails you can get from them, like 3 feet trails you can get from a Sophinia petunia. But it's the colour combination of these that's just stunning.
It's really tickled me, this colour combination, from I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, we first saw these, and we all walked in. Bex, Shaw, myself, Stu, Craig, who kind of helped us out the show, and we're all drawn to it. There's something about this colour mix. It almost looks like a sunrise, or I think just that lovely red with that yellow kind of skirt around the outside of that flower. It says hello to you. It welcomes you. It brightens up the day. It's got a cheerfulness, a happiness. It's got a joy about it, that flower. Absolutely divine. And of course, Sophinia has been around for 30 years, and it's been around for 30 years because it's just such a fantastic type of Sophinia. That's sort of the brand name, the trade name of this particular type of Sophinia. These will flower for many, many months. We're sending out some incredible plug plants too, which we're showing them in it with, again, crazy, crazy, wonderful root systems on there. And these plants are going to grow away very quickly, probably within the next... Oh, actually, is that what I think it is on the top there? Look, that's a flower bud.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the flower buds. That's already... Yeah. That's going to be the flower there. That's already a little embryonic flower bud.
There we go.
On the top there. So within sort of 4 to 5 weeks, these are going to start flowering, and that's only going to take you to kind of mid-May. And then we've got May, we've got June, we've got July, we've got August, we've got September, we've got right through into October. If the weather's kind and we don't get any frost, even November, they might be looking a little bit tired by November, but many, many months of incredible colour. And on that journey of enjoying these fabulous colours, your friends, your family, neighbours, people walking by, you'll get notes for your front door. Do you mind if I ask what that is you've been growing in your hanging baskets this year? Because my husband and I, my girlfriend and I, we've walked past, we've been walking the dog, we've seen those. They're gorgeous. What are they? Where'd you get them from?
Yeah.
They'll be that kind of plant, won't they?
I think they'll look great, all just, you know, an entire hanging basket or a pot or something just with those in. But, you know, I think they'll work beautifully mixed in with other stuff. I'm going to have begonia hanging baskets this year, the Belgian trailing
at the top,
ones.
and then you're putting those around
but
the edge.
I'm going to put a few of these in because I think that'll, I don't know, who cares? I'm going to try it. I think it'll work really nicely together. So that's what I'm going to do this year.
Brilliant.
401 555 is the item number for those. It is a double up deal if you want, okay? So you can go for 6 of these. They come to you, as you can see down there, in our little miniature greenhouses. This is the packaging that we choose to use to send these out to you. They're always well watered before they get to you. But this packaging is designed to keep those plug plants in the top condition, basically, really well protected. That packaging is also fully recyclable. So you can go for 6 of those, or you can go for the double up deal here and get 12 of those for £14.98. I think if you are looking to use these in hanging baskets, you're definitely going to want to go for at least a double up. Maybe even for two double ups. I don't know. However many you like. It's up to you. It's up to you.
I mean, just imagine if you had like 5 or 6 hanging baskets, you know, of these just all trailing down. I just can't wait till this time next year when you send in pictures, or even later this year when you're sending in pictures of yours.
Yeah.
There's going to be spectacular ones of these. I've got to do this, Specs. I've got to grow these because you said you're going to grow these begonias. I said I might try and grow these with like 2 or 3 purple Sophinias mixed in.
Yeah, why not? I know Sean's going to plant them up for his pub gardens hanging baskets as well. So we're all going to give those a go. So 401 555 is your item number for those. But now we're going to talk about the Dicentra, the Spectabilis alba, the bleeding hearts, if you will. And these are the beautiful white
you mind your
bleeding
tongue.
hearts.
Yeah, I mean, these are gorgeous, aren't they?
They're so pretty.
And again, good thing about these is there's that gap, isn't there? There's always that gap between the end of the bulbs in spring, because it starts off with snowdrops, it ends with tulips, and then the tulips go over, and then there's a little bit of a sad time, isn't there, when it all goes, the colour disappears again for a while before all the really fabulous summer perennials come back, like the lupins and the foxgloves and the delphiniums. So if you want a gap filler in between, if you want your hit of colour in between, Dicentra are absolutely amazing, because you've got this incredible, gorgeous foliage. You've got these really unusual hanging sort of pendulous white flowers that look absolutely stunning. It's an easy plant to grow. This grows in shade. It will grow in full sun. Not particularly fussed about soils. It will come up year after year after year. But a little trick you can do with this, you can plant this right in between all those other tall perennials, because this will have its day now. It will look good for another 4 to 6 weeks, and then it starts to just sort of fade away and dwindle away a little bit. But by that time, all the other perennials come up around it.
Exactly.
And then this takes second stage. The other perennials take their, you know, their main part.
And then it'll come back for you year after year as well. So you'll have many years of joy with this. So there's an important thing to tell you about how to place your order for this one. And because there's 2 options on the website, and we want to make sure you go for the right one. As you can see on there, look, there is one available for $9.99. There is a triple pack. Don't put the triple pack into your basket, please. Use the item where it's 1. So add that into your basket. Stu's already entered our code into the basket, so you can see, look, the giveaway is there. We've got our freebie. So then go in and add 3 into your basket. 2 for $19.98, 3 for $12.98. So that is the best maths you can have. If you enter the triple pack in to your basket, I'm afraid you won't get that deal. So do make sure you're entering the individual item when you place your order. Sorry for the confusion there, but that's how you need to do it in order to get the best deal possible. Stu is shopping. Check him out. Look, we're ordering in. We're putting in our Sophinia petunias into that basket as well. So look, we've got 1 in and it's $9.99. If we put 2 in, it's £7.49 each. There we go. He's having fun shopping, isn't he? Look at this. But look at the savings. I mean, honestly, just have a little play around with your basket, because You can really get some good deals and some good savings by shopping direct at YGTV.
There's something a bit illogical about our website, isn't there, really? It's like,
I know.
It's supposed to go up, not down.
Let's not point it out to anybody that can change it. We're fine with it, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Well, as I say, I mean, with my mentality, if you know...
Your maths.
If you sat down this morning and thought, oh, yeah, I can spoiled £50 and I'm going to get X amount of plants. Now you're going to get double the amount of plants for £50. Brilliant.
So this is the Dicentra, the Spectabilis alba, the Bleeding Hearts. Absolutely adore this one. It is just £9.99 if you want to go for one of those, but I think we've shown you that going for that triple deal is probably the absolute best way of going for this particular deal. Right, we've got to go back to, I knew this one was going to be popular, the Dahlia, the pink, the beautiful starburst pink it's called. It is beautiful, it's a gorgeous compact variety of Dahlia, and obviously it's already been started. We've got little plugs to send out to you. All you need to do is pop these on and then plant them out as and when we're certain that all the frosts have gone.
Yeah, so I would say probably after about the end of the first week in May, pretty much most of the country you'll find to sort of put these outside. And initially, don't just plonk them straight out. What I would do just for a week or so, put them out during the day, bring them in at night.
Yeah,
out,
do a little bit hardening off.
Yeah, and then after that, they can stay outside permanently. But I knew, Bex knew these was going to be popular, and you get a gut feeling, don't you, sometimes, Bex, of a certain plant, because you look at these flowers, these are so happy, joyful, and they're different. You wouldn't initially look at that and say that was a dahlia.
No.
It hasn't, it just kind of, in fact, I almost thought it's like a water lily kind of feel to it there, really, but it's a really happy, open, joyful kind of looking flower, isn't it? And just to think of another nice little compact plant like that, smothered in those purpley pink flowers all summer long, almost completely hiding the foliage, creating cut flowers for you as well, all the little pollinating insects coming into the flowers and buzzing around and enjoying themselves. And yeah, it's a great new addition, this.
Yeah, I love it. And it does flower for such a long time as well. Dahlias, they flower all summer long. They're very, very simple to look after. You just need to deadhead, basically, and that is how you encourage more and more of those blooms to come through. How many do you think, Adam? Anne is asking, in a 30 to 40 centimetre tub, how many plugs are you going to put into one of those?
A round tub, I'd say about 3 would be...
Yeah, I think so. So these are a bit more compact. They'll grow to about probably 45, 50 centimetres in height. They'll probably spread to about 30 centimetres.
Because that's not much, is it, 30 centimetres? You could probably put one.
You could probably get away with one.
Yeah, I was thinking
of if you want a really big full display, you could get 3. You could get away with 3, couldn't you?
Yeah, but I think one would...
I'm an overplanter, Anne, so maybe I'm not giving the best advice. I am an overplanter.
But 30 centimetres, that's kind of the average ruler, isn't it? School ruler, kind of, yeah. So I'd probably say one in the centre. And then you could underplant around the edges some lobelia or a bit of alyssum or something like that to kind of, or just put some nice gravel or stones underneath.
This is why I know I've got way too many dahlias, because I have no space for them at all. Right, we're coming back, excuse me, we're coming back to where we began. And that is to our beautiful callistemon or however you want to pronounce it. This one is a proper showstopper. This one is definitely pride of place, grabbing all of the attention. This is a look at me kind of plant because it is stunning.
Evergreen, stunning, a classic. I love the fact that it's a standard as well.
You've got
that lovely straight stem. You've got this explosion of colour on the top. You've got unusual flowers as well in that they go all the way up the stem, creating that sort of bottle brush kind of look. You've got fragrant foliage as well. If you ever wish to prune this, when you prune it, it has a lovely kind of citrusy fragrance to it as you prune it. Loves full sun, great for sort of quite exposed gardens or places like that. Yeah, just a really, really awesome, unusual, different, but really thrilling and fun and exciting plant, I think, Bex, to be honest.
Yeah, I really do. Easy to look after, but definitely going to grab attention. Lovely, unique plant there. Right, so it is a £10 saving as long as you use the code. YGTV1624 is the item code, and that's how you unlock your savings, your deals. That's how you get a free gift entered into your basket worth £9.99. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Elaine, Anna, Anne, Nicola, Angela. Philip is watching from his allotment. How cool, love that. Linda's watching as well. Simon, good morning to you. Thank you so much for your company. Hopefully you are sending us some pictures and some emails and things like that. ygtv@yougarden.com is the place where you send your pictures. Neil, we've got an update on Neil's Fritillaria, the Crown Imperial Orange. We'll have a little look in a little while. It's looking like it's close. I don't think mine has done anything. But anyway, I'm glad yours has, Neil. So we'll get pictures on those soon. If you want to send us any pictures, please do. It was that email address. We love to look at them. Right, Stuart is being very strict. 2 minutes per item on here. This is our favourites table. It's because these are the highest selling ones. These are your favourites. These are our favourites as well. These are the ones you've liked most this week. So if you haven't been able to watch any of the shows this week, these are the ones that have been the most popular. And we're going to start off with our honeyberry.
Yeah, it's 11:37, so we've got to be through this by 11:47.
Got 2 minutes an item.
2 minutes. Here we go then. Honeyberry. Unusual, different, a shrubby kind of plant that gets to about 90 centimetres to a metre tall. It's a member of the honeysuckle family. It flowers, it's flowering about now. Got nice scented honeysuckle type flowers. Gorgeous autumn foliage, very easy to grow, not fussed about soil. But I tell you what it does do, it produces the most unusual shaped but gorgeous tasting fruit very easily, very simply. It's self-pollinating as well, Bex, isn't it?
It is,
I believe.
yeah, but we do recommend going for 2. You'll get better fruit production.
Yeah, but if you want to grow fruit that's different, that you perhaps get your children or your grandchildren to try, full of antioxidants, full of vitamins, full of lovely natural sugars, just something sumptuous and delicious and different, but without a huge amount of effort. You don't need to worry about pruning or tying in or, there's no fussiness about this. It's almost like an ornamental plant with the added bonus of fruit that you can just pluck off and eat when you're ready.
Yeah, very, very easy. It's winter hardy as well, so it comes to you with our lifetime guarantee. It will drop its leaves over winter. It is deciduous, but then it springs back into life again. I was thinking, mine are gone. But they're not gone at all. They've got so many leaves and things on them. Winter hardy means that it has our lifetime guarantee. If it fails to thrive in your garden, we will replace it free of charge. All you have to do is get in touch with customer services and cover the postage cost. The only decision you need to make is if you're going to go for one of these at £9.99, or if you're going to go for the double up deal where you put 2 in your basket. It's no choice, just put 2 in your basket. I promise you, you won't regret it. 310070 is your item number. Go to yougarden.com to place your order. Thalictrum Little Pinky, our transitional plant.
Yeah, another plant that's super, super tough, also lifetime guarantee, a very, very long-lived plant. Thalictrums live for donkey's years.
That's a technical term.
Yeah, that's a horticultural term. A very, very hardy, grow in most soils, not particularly fussy. They'll grow in kind of quite heavy soils. They'll grow in sort of porous soils, more sandy soils. Come up year after year after year. And they're quite compact. These are about 30, 40 centimetres tall. This lovely sort of purpley, fluffy kind of flowers on the top there. But even the foliage looks amazing. It reminds me a little bit of that maidenhair fern kind of foliage. It's got that look to it. But the great thing about this is these are flowering now, so they're great perennial gap fillers between when the spring bulbs go over, but before the huge mainstay of perennials come out. So if you want that colour hit now, if you don't want to be waiting another 4 to 6 weeks for your lupins and your delphiniums, I want colour now, I want sort of perennials looking good now. This is one of those that will fill that gap for you, and we're going to come up to another 2 that are going to do the same at the same time.
Yeah, so fill that gap now, but fill it for donkey's years to come. It is another double up deal for you, so put 2 in your basket and enter the code YGTV1624. That's where you get those additional savings. 561161 is the item number. Now we're going to move on to excuse me, 2 items that I'm going to put into my basket. One of them is the pink blueberry.
Easy for you to say. Yeah, pink. We've called it pinkberry. Yeah, but I mean, it's a bit confusing. It's like sometimes. Well, I'm going on a bluebell walk, I think next weekend. But you see those white bluebells, don't you? And people, what are you on about white bluebells? They're bluebells. No, they're all white. No, they're not. They're blue. Well, this is the same. This is a blueberry, but it's pink. So the berries are pink.
But they're supposed to be sweeter as well, aren't they? So I mean, I love blueberries. I kind of like sometimes that slight tartness you get to a blueberry. But it'd be lovely to have the blueberries and the pink berries together and and have that tart sweet mix in one sort of bite.
Yeah, and with some honeyberries thrown in as well.
Oh
yeah,
my
lord!
lord!
Yeah, but these are sweeter, and they just look so attractive as well. I mean, they look like the kind of fruit you just want to eat. I mean, you can almost.
Yeah, I want to eat that.
You want to eat those, don't you?
Definitely.
You can almost sort of look at them and you think, oh, they're going to taste sweet. They're going. It's something about that sort of pink colour. It's like kids' sweets, isn't it? They're quite often they're those sort of pink colours, aren't they? And it's like blancmange, or those yummy kind of sort of like things that you want to eat. But these are easy to grow. They'll grow in most gardens. If you've got acid soil, if you haven't got acid soil, you can grow them in a pot in ericaceous compost. They're bone hardy, ridiculously hardy. They'll get through winters practically anywhere really, without any problem at all. Not much pruning to do the first couple of 2 or 3 years. Just leave them, just let them do their thing. After 2 or 3 years, you can just take out the odd wiry stem that's got a little bit old, or any stems that are crisscrossing a little bit. But honestly, don't stress about it. There's no big thing about pruning these. Dead easy to do. Fabulous, gorgeous coloured autumn foliage, and then in the spring, lovely clusters of little lantern-shaped flowers as well. So, I mean, even if it didn't fruit, it would be a beautiful shrub in its own right. But the fact it does all that, and it produces those incredible pink blueberries, is amazing.
And it brings all the pollinators into your garden, which is another beneficial thing. Now, it comes with a with a cane in it. It's not a climbing plant, is it? And we can remove this cane. Yeah,
in fact, we might do that in a moment. When we come back, I might actually, with our secateurs, cut it off the cane so you can see. It's got sort of a laxed, wiry, open habit. They don't need supporting. They just form a kind of nice little thicket that supports itself.
Yeah.
That's just so that when we put it in the box, it stays all nice and compact and doesn't get damaged.
Sometimes when you get it home, you're like, but what do I do with this? You can cut it away. It's not going to be a problem at all.
Be fine.
310028 is the item number. That's going in my basket, along with the Polemonium, the Jacob's Ladder. I am definitely ordering both of these because these are gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
I'm in love with the colours.
In so many ways. I mean, let's start off right at the bottom. The leaves. I mean, the leaves themselves are stunning. Really kind of lovely shaped leaves. Very unusual, very interesting. The actual leaf stem, or petiole, if you want to be posh, the leaf stem itself is that sort of bronzy red colour, which again I like. I like the rosette formation of the leaves there, the way they kind of hang down and hug the ground. And then look at the leaves themselves. I mean, they're not just green. They're actually sort of flushed with kind of these sort of bronze and purpley colours, which again makes them really different, really unusual. And then the pièce de résistance on these. Look at the flower heads on these.
Wow.
Let's just turn this one around a little bit more. Come on, don't be camera shy. There you go. I mean, that's, you can see the gorgeous flowers on those. That really unusual purple. And look at the yellow stamens in the middle. And that little kind of eye in the middle of the flower, that little dark eye in the middle of the flower as well. And loads and loads on there. And even when these ones are flowered, in the middle of there's loads of little buds to sort of come in the middle of this flower head. And there was one of them we saw a moment ago, even on the side. There was, here we go, this little one here. I'll pop it now right to the front. Look, little side shoot there, even with more flower buds coming further down. So, these are going to keep flowering for a long, long period of time. Oh, and I've just got to do this. Come on, come on.
What are we doing?
Look at it.
Oh, check out the roots on that.
Check the roots out on that. I mean, that is such a super, super healthy plant.
Wow.
That's going to thrive. That's going to just absolutely romp away once you get it in the ground. Long-lived as well, Polemoniums. Not fussed about soil, heavy soils, light soils. Yeah, really easy.
Super easy, and a £13 saving on here. Remember, Eleanor messaged us earlier saying that she bought one of these last year and she paid more for one than you would be paying for 3 here at YGTV. So this is absolutely a stonking deal, as Adam would say. I'm currently placing my order right now. So I've placed an order for Pink Blueberry and Jacob's Ladder. I've got my free gift. Just going to show you. So currently, no, I'm not in aeroplane mode. Currently, I am spending £29.45 because I've still got £6.99 postage on there. I'm going to place some more in. I am saving £28.99.
And you are doing it. She's really doing it.
I'm doing it right now. They're low stock. Okay, I need to work out what else I'm adding into my
Yeah,
basket.
and then you got, yeah.
But that is how amazing this is. I'm currently saving pretty much as I am spending here. As soon as I knock that postage off, it's going to be amazing. 561253 is the item number that you need. £16.97 for all 3 of those. What are you saying to me, Stu? I need to place my order now? Very soon, very soon. That gives you an idea of how much stock is
What's
remaining.
going in next then? You've got any idea of what's going in next?
I do want to get some tomatoes, but we don't have those on the show. The Sun Gold. I want some cherry tomato Sun Gold super sweet.
Fancy trying a tea plant? That could be different, couldn't it?
Well, I also want the callistemon, so I don't know. Sorry, it's about your order, not about my order.
Well, luckily you've got these already.
I know.
You have got these, haven't you?
I've got my bowls mauve.
Yeah.
I don't need any more of these, but I recommend the bowls mauve 100%. You think these are amazing as well,
They
right?
are amazing because the colour, I love that nice purpley colour. These are a member of the Brassica family, so the same family as stocks, for example, or night scented stock. So you've got these really simple, and even the rape that's flowering in the fields at the moment, the yellow rape, same family there again as well, all the same family. But this is a very compact plant as well, evergreen all through the year. It's got this lovely sort of glossy foliage, very tough, very robust, very frost resistant, very drought resistant. These grow in full sun, they grow in dappled shade, great for pots. But the most insane, crazy thing about them is they flower for so many months of the year, about 10 months of the year.
So many.
There's only one other plant I can think of that flowers longer, and it's that wild gorse. You know, the wild gorse has the yellow flowers.
Yes.
That literally does flower 12 months of the year, and these aren't far behind.
No.
I mean, just easy to grow, and then even once the main flower spike has finished flowering, you could trim that off, and then going further down, you can kind of see at the side there's little side shoots around there.
Yeah.
And those will actually then take over from the main flower shoot and just keep, you can see just in the middle there, look.
It really does just keep going, and I am just enamoured with this plant because of how long it keeps going. With the purples and things as well, you often talk about how, even on the dull days, actually the purple tends to stand out. I don't know what it is.
Do you know, it's like in the evenings, when the light levels go down in the evening,
All
the
of a sudden
purples
it
and blues
illuminates.
really ping. They really stand out.
Yeah.
And look, again, every time, look, roots every time. You're going to get bored of us showing you the roots, aren't you? But,
No, we're not.
But
Never.
yeah, it's because what's going underneath is as important as what's going on top.
Right, so come on, we're going to go over to the Coronilla because this one is beautiful. And Stu's actually received an email about the Coronilla. What's the email? Somebody has sent us... Oh! Hang on, do you recognise that, Adam?
Looks very familiar, that, to me. Yes. That's my hubby's front garden. Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about. Yeah, that's the one we're growing up the obelisk. So you can see that. And it's
right next to... That is the perfect spot because you've got a lovely bench right there, and the fragrance from the Coronilla, that must be a beautiful place to sit right now.
Yeah, this is John's front garden. John's front garden is stunning. There's, in fact, just in front of that, to the right of the path, is our honeyberry. Just opposite that, yeah. But he's done what I should have done, really. He's actually bothered to take a picture. Thanks,
Well
Johnny.
done, John.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Amazing.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
But that's what I'm saying.
It?
You can get it to climb if you want to, or you can let it sprawl over the ground. The choice is yours.
I like that idea. It could be good for Debbie, who took her conifers out. Yeah, you're right, Stu.
Yeah, because sometimes the soil underneath old conifer trees can be quite degraded over the years. So this isn't fussy about soil, and that will probably be quite a good place to put this because it will just scramble over the ground, flowers for a long, long time, got this gorgeous foliage, which is semi-evergreen, not fussed about where it grows. So yeah, absolutely excellent choice.
Lovely. 510521 is the item number if you would like to go for the Coronilla. It does have a £3 saving today, so it's £14.99, and you can get an extra 10% off that as well if you join or are already a member of our discount club. Now, I'm so pleased that our new items are going really, really well this morning. And the Oleander, we kind of knew this was going to happen with this one. This is the beautiful sort of creamy yellow Oleander. We have the same deal available on the pink as well, but I know that you're loving this one. It is a buy one, get one absolutely free. It's £29.99. If you put one in your basket and enter the offer code YGTV1624, we'll do the rest for you. You will get a free plant. You will get a pack of free 75 anemone blander bulbs included as well. So this really does represent phenomenal value, particularly when you think how long this flowers and how long it'll be in your garden for.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to call it the Oleander because, I mean, you know, it's just this wonderful, lovely yellow colour, which is different. I love the pink, don't get me wrong. I think the pink's spectacular, but it's always great when suddenly you see a different colour of a certain plant that you haven't seen so often in the past. And I like the fact there's a nice, soft, kind of gentle, creamy yellow colour there.
Classy.
It is classy, but again, you know, the quality of the plants. These plants are phenomenal. These are stout plants. These are healthy plants. They've got amazing root systems. They're evergreen. They've got foliage all the way down to the base. These are not spindly sticks. You know, these are really vigorous, healthy plants with super shiny willow-shaped leaves, packed with buds. They're going to be flowering the minute you get them out the box. They're going to be flowering for month after month after month. And really, all Oleanders ask of you is just put me somewhere sunny, put me in the sunniest, warmest spot you can find, and I will just reward you with months and months of joyous colour.
I am an Oleander. Just put me somewhere nice and sunny.
And leave me be in peace.
Leave me be. Yeah, thrive on neglect, honestly.
Yeah, little gin and tonic.
Yeah.
No, not for your Oleander, but you know, if it was you, but yeah.
All right, so it is a buy one, get one free. Put one into your basket. These are amazing quality. They come to you from a Sicilian breeder, the best in the world. This is why we work with them. This is why our head gardener was very keen to get this relationship. We've had it for several years now, and unfortunately there's a massive waiting list to be able to work with this particular breeder because they are so good at what they do. I tell you this so that you understand the kind of quality that we are bringing you at YGTV. 680059 is the item number that you need. Put one in your basket, put the code in, and we will put the other one in for you. Now then, we need to talk to you about just some pots. I'm going to run over here for a second because this is our buy one, get two free deal on our Torino pots. Do you want me to come back over here? Okay. Buy one, get two absolutely free. So you put one in your basket, put the code in YGTV1624, and we will then automatically put the other two in your basket for you. For all those people that are just sitting under £40 and you're like, I don't know what else to add in, and when it's £6.99 postage, if £3.99 tips you over that £40 mark, what it means is that you're spending less but getting more, and we love that kind of maths, don't we?
I love that kind of maths. It's good to me.
Maths.
It's the best maths, yeah. It's the sort of maths that, you know, I wish we had at school, because I'd have liked maths then.
These are really handy sizes as well. So I love like your hubby's front garden.
Oh, he's got masses of pots,
I
yeah.
adore container gardening. Like, it's great to have your borders and all the rest of it, but container gardening is really interesting because I feel like you can move things around, you can change the look and feel. If something's looking a bit rubbish, you can hide it. If something's looking amazing, you can bring it out. This size of pot is really handy because they can go around the front of other pots. You can create a gorgeous kind of dense tiered look, can't you?
Yeah, and you know, they're never going to be too heavy. You know, you can. Some pots are huge, aren't they? So you know, you need a hand to move these.
Yeah, and that's a lot of compost, a lot of expense to fill them.
It is, yeah. But these, and again, what I like about these pots, they're small, but look all the detail. You know, I like the fact they've got this recurved lip around the top there, which is nice. I love the kind of horizontal striping around the base. I like the way they've given it that sort of bronzed, aged, antique-y sort of look as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm honest all the time on here, and I have to be honest to say, I used to hate plastic pots years ago. I couldn't abide plastic pots because you saw the seams, you saw the joints, you saw the bits of plastic hanging off where they'd come off the blow mould and strands.
There's none
but
of that.
These, I mean, honestly, if you put these on a bench in a high street and you got people to walk past and you used to say to them, I'll give you £10 if you tell me whether these are metal or plastic, I bet you not everybody would be able to guess straight away.
You can't tell, and this is the beauty of what we're bringing at YGTV, at YouGarden here. You know, we're very keen on these plastic pots because they're designed to last a lot of years, but they look beautiful. You can't tell the difference.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, because there's no point us talking about them, you know, to you when we're in front of the camera, and then you get them home and it's like, oh no, they look really cheap and horrible when I got them home.
Yeah,
These don't. These look good. These are lovely. These are UV UV resistant. These are these are frost resistant. They're UV stable. And yeah, there's that awful word, plastic, isn't it? Well, plastic is an awful word when you're throwing it away every day of the week. But when you've got something made of plastic that's going to last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, it's not going to be bobbing up and down in the sea in the big plastic lake. That's good plastic, you know.
It really is.
These are not heavy. They're not going to wick away the moisture like terracotta can. They're not going to get destroyed in the frost. And like you said, Bex, they're just elegant.
Yeah, really elegant. I would suggest maybe going for more than 3. If you put 2 in your basket, for example, and enter the code, you'll get 6 in total. If you put 3 in your basket and enter the code, you'll get 9 in total. I really like the idea of that, of getting loads of these. I've got lots of little pots like this because they're very, very easy. As I say, you can change them over very quickly and easily without a massive expense because they don't take up all of the compost. But if you've got steps in your garden, for example, putting them up either side of the steps will look great. If you've got some of those, I love those displays where people have got step ladders and you put pots all the way down.
I like that. I like your steps one. That's my favourite.
I really like that idea.
You've just made me think of something as well, because look at this. Imagine that, because look at the colour of that dahlia. You've got that lovely pink dahlia. Yeah,
and this is a more compact dahlia, so it could probably quite happily live in there, couldn't it?
Yeah, look at that. One of those, that gorgeous colour pot against that colour of not begonia. What did I mean?
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
That'd work.
That'll be the dahlia.
That'll be the dahlia. It wasn't my joke. Somebody else said that.
It's the voices in our heads.
Yeah.
All right, so it is a buy one, get 2
nice
free.
hat.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a problem. I do tend to say whatever Stu says, so he has to be very careful what he says in my ear. It is a buy one, get 2 free. So put 1 in your basket, enter the code, and we will do the rest for you. You just need to decide how many of those you actually want. 401521 is the item number that you need. Just make sure you enter the offer code YGTV1624. Let's give you a little reminder of some of the items that we have seen already. Starting off with our Dahlia Dalina Maxi Starburst Pink. Now you're going to get 6 of those plug plants. There is a £2 saving on there. These are a slightly more compact variety of dahlia, so this might be perfect for your size of garden, or maybe even to mix in at the front of some of those taller dahlias. These should only get to about 45, maybe 50 centimetres in height. Flowers, flowers, flowers all summer long. And plenty for you to have on the plant, as well as to be able to cut to have indoor displays as well. I can't wait for the summer to come to have all those dahlias outside and inside as well. £11.69 if you are in the club, of course, because you get that extra 10% discount. Next we have our Petunia Saphinia, burgundy yellow picotees. This is a double up deal available, so you can go for 6 plug plants. Or if you fancy it, because you get better value for money here, you can go for 12 of these and get them for £14.98. Petunias that are Saphinias are the best that you can buy. They have been bred specifically to be weather resistant. They are the brand that every petunia wants to be a Saphinia. They are the brand name that every petunia wants to be. Weather resistant, they tend to deadhead themselves more than other petunias as well, and they will trail for you. You can sometimes get a 3 feet, not sometimes, a lot of the time, you can get a 3 feet trail from a Saphinia petunia. These are the kind of petunias that are used in those professional displays that you'll see in the high streets and things, because they are so amazing at trailing, but also at being resistant to those soggy summers, basically. Other petunias really do suffer in those soggy summers, but not your Saphinias. £9.99 if you go for 6, or double up and get 12 for £14.98. Now the Callistemon, I love this, the Bottlebrush plant. It is incredible, isn't it? Look at those flowers. They are so beautiful. It's like a firework explosion, and this is a standard variety. So I do think that standards are very elegant. They add height, they add luxury. It also means that you're able to underplant with a a callistemon kind of bush, you don't have the room to then put other plants underneath, whereas with a standard you can do that. So it might work perfectly for those smaller gardens, so you can get more plants in your garden, basically. It's a £10 saving on there, so it's £29.99, and of course if you are a club member you will get an extra 10% off. That's £3 off that one. So it might be worth thinking about joining the club today if you're buying that item, because it costs you £5 to join, but on one item you're going to make £3 back straight away. 680093 is your item number. Now, one of the other newer items that we brought you today was our camellia. This is the tea plant. It's only £7.99. It's almost half price deal here. You are saving £7 on that one. Really nicely established in that 1.5 litre pot. Beautiful plant. This is, as Adam was saying, it's the plant that is actually used for tea production. It's not going to take much looking after here in the UK. It'd be wonderful in a pot, but you can easily plant this out into borders as well. 750049 is the item number that you need for that one. And of course, it's only £7.19 if you are in the club. Next we've got, the Spectabilis alba, the Dicentra, the Bleeding Hearts. I think these are some of the most unique and beautiful flowers. The shape of that flower is incredible. You get these lovely arching stems with them all sort of lined up in a row as well. I think it's really, really beautiful. And the great thing about this plant is it doesn't need to be in a full sun position. In fact, it will work probably better for you if you have it in a shadier spot. And to get flowers and colour in those shady spots can be a little bit tricky. Not with the Bleeding Hearts. This one is super happy in those areas. And it'll come back for you year after year as well. Really, really easy to look after. It is a triple deal. The thing to remember when you're placing your order for this one is please place the individual item into your basket. There is a triple deal on the website. Don't enter the 3-pack in. Put one in, then go to your basket and increase it to 3. That's how you'll get this deal. If you put the triple pack in, you won't get this deal. I hope that makes sense. 560760 is the item number, and you're going to get all 3 of those for £12.98. That's quite amazing, honestly. Pink lemonade, it's in my basket. I just need to place my order. I'm just looking for something else to add in to get me over that £40 mark. I think I've spotted it. I think I know what I'm going to do. But yes, please do add the blueberry pink lemonade into your basket as well. I think this is super interesting. Really deliciously sweet pink blueberries you're going to get from this, and it's an incredible price for you today. It's in a 2-litre pot and it's almost a half price deal at £7.99. You just need to consider maybe you need some ericaceous compost for this to go with. Of course, if you already have that acid soil in your garden, then no problem at all. If you don't, you just need to think about maybe growing it in a pot with some ericaceous compost. 310028 is the item number. Make sure you put in the code YGTV1624. That's how you're going to get that nearly half price deal. Now, another popular one of the newer ones we brought you today. I'm so pleased you're going for this. It's a buy one, get one absolutely free, because this is the Oleander, the bush, the cream yellow version. We have exactly the same deal available on the pink one, so if you prefer pink, you can go for that. Or maybe you'd like the pink and the yellow, why not? But just enter one of these into your basket and put in the offer code, and we will do the rest for you. We'll enter in your free gift. We will also enter in your free Oleander bush. Really easy to look after. They thrive on neglect. They're winter hardy, initially down to -5. As they grow and mature, hopefully they will get even more hardy for you. Months and months and months of colour, drought tolerant when they get established. Bring the holiday feel to your garden with the oleanders. Really easy to look after. 680059 is your item number. Now then, Peter McDermott is our head gardener. He's the man who, he's been working in this business for many, many years. He's the one that 100% believes in this compost. He's not the one, actually, we all do. Let's listen to Peter tell us all about this compost.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow-release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow-release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
So yeah, that's our beautiful, I keep saying beautiful. Yeah, that's our beautiful head gardener, Peter McDermott. I don't know why I called him that the other day, so I don't know.
You're such a crawler.
Morning, Peter, if you're watching.
Gorgeous man, lovely man, handsome man.
Lovely Peter McDermott, our head gardener, when he was in the potting shed with our lovely Sean a few weeks ago as well. It comes to you as 2 50-litre bags. They also come in a box as well, so if you are placing multiple orders, they come boxed. So you can stack and store them really, really easily. Direct to your door, absolutely no postage included, which I think is brilliant because it's one of the worst jobs, isn't it, when you have to go and buy compost and get it off the thing and lift it, and it's just annoying.
It's a hassle.
We'll deliver it direct to your door. 100125 is the item number. It's the most popular item. We sell more compost than we do of anything else. And when I think of the hundreds of thousands of plants that we sell, that's a lot, basically.
And you can order a pallet load, can't you, as well? You told me.
Yeah, if you want
to.
Larger quantities, by the way, if you need like commercial quantities, like you sometimes maybe when you're doing your gardens, you can just go through on the phone line 0844 502 0050, speak to them, and they'll do you some kind of deal, basically. which is always good. Right, let's move on because we've still got loads to show you, lots of amazing items to bring
for a
you.
minute while I go figging.
First one we're going to talk to you about is the brown turkey, the fig, another standard that we've got for you. And I'm a big fan of standards because I think they just offer something great for smaller space gardening, but also for any space. It allows you to have, you know, underplanting and get more plants into your garden.
Yeah, and this is just so different. I mean, it's just unusual. The leaf shape, look at the leaf shape. I mean, that is just classic, isn't it? Gorgeous. I mean, fig leaves are depicted in kind of ancient history, aren't they? And kind of in stonework on ancient buildings. Yeah. There's just something sort of amazing about fig leaves, really. They sort of come from kind of the not the Far East, but the Middle East, and that kind of part of the world is where they originate. This is Ficus carica brown turkey, very hardy in the UK, will go down to at least -15, and seem to love the UK climate as well. Again, in the 37, 8 years of being self-employed, I've seen probably dozens and dozens and dozens of fig trees grown in all sorts of different gardens in different positions. Get through all the winters, and you will get figs in the UK that are delicious and edible, as you see there.
There's one on the plant right now, in actual fact,
should we turn
on this
him round
one.
so we can? There you go. You can see. Look at that. Nice
There's a
fig on
fig
there.
on there.
And we've got some more out the back as well, different samples that have got more figs on this particular
they're
one.
easy to look after, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
There's very little you need to do with these.
Very little. I mean, I've seen people just leave fig trees, just do their own thing. They've not even pruned them, but they still get smothered in figs.
Yeah.
And very juicy, edible figs. They tend to sort of ripen late summer, heading towards the autumn time. This one, you can grow this in a pot. Figs love being in pots. In fact, sometimes if you constrict the roots, they actually fruit better than if you give them a really free root run.
Yeah.
But the good thing about this one, again, and I say this, always say this, if you're 3 floors up and just got a balcony, now you can have a fig and you can grow your own super delicious sweet figs in a pot.
Do they need a sunny spot?
Yeah, sunny is good. Yeah, that's where they're happiest. So yeah, give them a really super sunny spot. Because say, if you think about the sort of the places they originate from, which is sort of the Middle East, that kind of part of the world, obviously they have a very bright sort of sunny climate. Yeah. But quite often in those places they might grow at altitude, where although it's hot further down, you know, at night time they can be subjected to very cold temperatures. So yeah, no problem at all with these.
Yeah, they're amazing. It's £10 saving, £24.99. Something a bit different, I think. You know, it's an ornamental, beautiful plant, but also creates those gorgeous edible figs that you will be able to pick. Make your own figgy pudding near Christmas time. 340057 is the item number you need. Make sure you use the code YGTV1624. That's how you get that £10 saving. If you don't put that code in, you'll pay the full price of £34.99. We don't want you to do that. So always enter our offer code. It changes on a weekly basis, by the way, so it's a different offer code. So does our free gift. We try and change that as often as possible as well. The free gift gets put into your basket when you enter that offer code. You can go back, you can watch previous shows on the website and on YouTube. Generally speaking, if the show is available, the code from that show, you know, and that deal is still valid as well. So go have a little look, have a play, because there's loads of shows on there that you can watch. Right, so one of my favourite items, the reason we're going to talk about the tower pot is that we've got the Bougainvillea purple pillar. Actually, let's talk about the Bougainvillea first, shall we? Because this is a beautiful climbing plant. This is one I'm quite tempted of buying because this is one I was thinking about maybe having as a conservatory plant.
Absolutely brilliant, Bex, as a conservatory plant. Have it outside during the summer. I've actually managed to get a Bougainvillea through for 5 years now. I was in my greenhouse yesterday planting out or potting on my last little seedlings. My Bougainvillea is under the staging in the sunshine in the greenhouse. It's already showing flower buds on it, so it's going to start flowering quite soon. And what's unusual about these is that, you know, what we might think as being the flower, these purple bits, they're actually called bracts, B-R-A-C-T-S, and they're just modified leaves. They're actually coloured leaves. The true flower is a little white flower bang in the middle there. But the combination of the two is absolutely spectacular. This actually, Bougainvillea, will come to you about 1 metre tall already, so it's pretty much going to be towards the top of this tower pot anyway. Yeah. And the tower pot will be an ideal companion for this Bougainvillea for many, many years to come. Bougainvilleas in the wintertime, just keep them, they don't need to be super warm. You can just keep them 2 or 3 degrees above freezing. But if you want to keep the foliage on, you need to keep them above 10 Celsius. But as I say, so well worth the effort because they're just stunning.
Yeah, they really, really are beautiful. That bright purple as well is incredible. Sean Ryan, who's often in the potting shed, he's been at QVC this morning, which is why he's not here today. But he went out and had a little look around on the nursery. So let's have a little look, shall we?
Well, I'm just out in the nursery. I'm checking out the Bougainvillea, one of my favourite Mediterranean plants. And these are absolutely stunning. Now, the purple, I know you look at these and think, oh, that's a flower, but they're actually called bracts. That's the flower in the centre. But it's the bracts that make them so spectacular. And they are great in the summertime, great on a patio, outside in your gardens. Do need a bit of protection in the winter. By the way, any noise in the background, it is a working nursery. We are very busy right now. But yeah, they are absolutely stunning. And what I love to see is the uniformity of these. Even though there's at least probably a couple of hundred, every single one, I think you'll agree, is in perfect condition. So yes, might be ordering a couple of these myself.
Look what we're doing. Look,
Sean wants one as well. See, I'm in good company because I feel like I want one of these as well. What we've just done is taken the support out of the Bougainvillea and dropped it inside our tower pot. As you can see, we can both get our hands inside this tower pot. So we can start sort of helping the Bougainvillea and teasing it through into place. And you can see I've just taken the top layer off there so that we could drop that in. Obviously, you're going to fill the pot with compost. But then we can easily, once we've teased that all in and put it into place, we can then replace the top of the tower pot. These just clip into place here. There's a little opening here and that clip just clips into place like so. Push it in and another one around that side.
Push that one in.
And another one around this side. So you'll just push those into place and that's your tower pot built. It comes to you in 3 sections and the base as well. But you can see how that's going to be the perfect home for that Bougainvillea, and it's just going to grow, meander, spread, move all the way around here, and it's going to give a glorious column of purple up the front, up that tower pot.
Yeah, and this is quite fun, Bex. I mean, yeah, when you get yours home at home, just take the bamboo canes out. That's what we've done with this one, and then just gently kind of tease it through, spread it out. So, you can already see there how in fact, we'll leave the Bougainvillea in there. You can actually see how, already like it's kind of, starting to kind of cover the edge of that. It'll, as it grows, it'll twist round. So you could take the stems around horizontally, train some up vertically. Yeah. And then eventually you will get this kind of 360 degree of colour. And just imagine that. I mean, this Bougainvillea all the way round, giving you those purple bracts. And that pot is big enough. I think it's 30 litre, isn't it? We say.
I believe. No,
25 litre. So that is big enough for the Bougainvillea to stay in forever in there. You don't need to put it into a bigger pot.
This is why I'm a big fan of these pots, okay? Because the Bougainvillea needs a bit of winter protection. So that means that if I keep it in this pot, I can easily pick this up and I can take it to wherever I need to take it to in order to give it that winter protection. I'm also getting a 360 degree display from here, as opposed to when you grow something up a trellis, up a fence, over, the side of something. You get a beautiful display,
yeah.
But this is wonderful if you're looking at it from opposite ends of the garden. You have that gorgeous 360 degree display. This is why I currently have 4 tower pots in my garden, 2 with sweet peas, 1 with jasmine, 1 with a wisteria. I need one for my flame lily, which is sprouting. Only one of them is sprouting.
I've got one sprouting now as well. It's a little shoot about that big.
I'm hoping the other 2 start sprouting as well. But my flame lily needs to go in one. And I'm also seriously considering the Bougainvillea because I love the idea of having this as a conservatory plant. I'm a big advocate of the tower planter. I just think it's incredibly clever. It looks beautiful if you've got deciduous climbers, so wisteria obviously, it drops its leaves over winter. It still looks fantastic when it's not covered in foliage, but then obviously the idea is that everything grows up and around it so that you can't even see any of this. And then you've got this gorgeous column of foliage and colour, and it's really, really lightweight and easy to move around your garden.
But the good thing is, Bex, as well, is like, I've got quite sort of big gardener's hands, but I can get inside this, and I've been able to get inside this and just, while you were just talking just now, I've been able to get inside this and kind of manipulate this Bougainvillea through. There's a little shoot there that I can just tie in as well. So, even what we've done this in a very rudimentary kind of quick way, but already, just from that little bit there, you can see how
really
attractive
see how
that
pretty
looks.
it is.
Yeah, amazing.
It's a double up deal for you on the tower pot as well. They are normally £24.99 each, whereas if you put 2 in your basket and enter the code YGTV1624, you'll be paying £20 each. It's just £39.98. 130461 is the item number if you want to go for your tower pots, and 680131 is the item number for the Bougainvillea purple pillar. That one's got a £5 saving on it, so £24.99. Little reminder just of a couple of items that are incredibly popular today. That is the Petunia Sophinia Burgundy Yellow Pickety. 6 plug plants. You can double up and you can get 12 of these though for £14.98. Nicola is asking, will they survive in shade?
They will grow in shade. Now, there's shade in the shade. If you're sort of saying it's a part of the garden that doesn't get sun, but it's open to the sky, so they're still getting natural light, yeah, they will be fine. If you're talking about shade like under a tree or somewhere really dark, then no, they wouldn't like that. But yeah, so if there's still light but not direct sunlight, they'll be fine. They won't flower as brilliantly as they were in full sun, but they will still flower.
Yeah. All right, so hopefully that has helped you. 401555 is your item number if you would like to go for the Petunia Sophinias that we have on the show today. And of course, we can't carry on without giving you a reminder of the Oleander. This one has been super popular today. In fact, I think it might need to go onto our favourites table because it has been that popular. It is a buy one, get one absolutely free. You can get 2 of those delivered to your door for basically £15 each. Just put 1 into your basket. Put in the code YGTV1624. We'll do the rest. We'll enter the other free one in there, and we will also enter your pack of 75 anemone blanda bulbs, which are worth £9.99. They are your free gift for today. Right, we've got a whole table of some stuff we haven't shown you yet this morning, or this afternoon now. Good afternoon. Hello, thank you for your company. Thank you for joining us. We're now bringing you our Rhododendrons collection. You're going to get 3 plants here, 3 glorious colours that work really nicely, a red, pink and a cream. Like that's a really nice combo, isn't it?
It is, and these, Bex, are so gorgeous. I mean, look at the little flowers on there.
I love a rhododendron flower.
Yeah, they're just divine, aren't they? They're just so delicate, but
yeah, and as
so
these
pretty.
grow, as these get established, the amount of flowers you'll have.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the beauty. Whoa, like that.
Look at that. I mean, wow. Yeah, that is. Yeah, like Stu said, that's shameless. You know, goodness me, that doesn't care, does it? It's right out there. It's giving. Yeah, that's giving it some, isn't it? Really,
it is,
as a plant, and that is so stunning, and they're breathtaking.
Have you seen the like Japanese azalea bonsai that they do?
Oh.
Wow, right?
Yeah.
When you get the bonsai, because I'm into bonsai, I'm trying to get into bonsai. That one's probably a little bit tricky. I might need to. I'm going to give it a go. Why not? They're amazing, though, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, though, if you did buy a plant kind of, this size, you could very easily start to sort of bonsai that because, you could already start to sort of twist those stems with a little bit of wire and contort them and stuff.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, so that's definitely possible. There's probably some really good. Oh my goodness me. It's getting worse. I need to go and lie down. Look at the root system on there. Wow. I mean, that's gorgeous.
So this is one that you're going to need your ericaceous soil or ericaceous compost for.
Yeah, you will. If you've got rhodies and things like already grown in your garden and they're green and they're vigorous and they've been there for years and they're really healthy, you can put these in that same space. But if you struggle with those sort of plants, yeah, use their erication compost.
Is there a way that people can find out how acidic their soil is?
Yeah, you can. You can get tests. You can get actual little chemical tests that you can just test the soil with, and there's also little meters that you can buy as well. They normally come with either 1 or 2 prongs. You just literally push the prongs into the ground, and there's a little meter reading, a little arrow, and it'll just show you on there
just in case anybody was wondering
whether it's acidic or alkaline.
Yeah.
And the only reason being is, some people might think, well, what is the thing about pH? It stands for potential hydrogen, and all it means is in some soils, like in alkaline soils, some minerals are more difficult for plants to extract from the soil than in acid soils. So if you're a roadie and you've always lived in acid soil, you've always found it easy to extract those minerals, and that's where you thrive. If suddenly you're in alkaline soil, you're not fit to extract those minerals because you never had to make the effort.
Yeah.
And that's when they get yellow and start suffering because they're going hungry. So that's why you have to have them in acid soil. But these It's evergreen as well, so
Yeah.
these look good all the year through. And look at this one. I mean, this one's already packed with great big, thick white buds.
There's a lot on there,
yeah,
isn't there?
Another week or so, that'll be bursting into flower. And these look just so wonderful, kind of on rockeries. They do fantastic in pots. They're kind of nice in woodlandy kind of situations. They're divine, really, and long lived.
Yeah, they do go for ages, don't
Yeah,
they?
and tough as old boots.
Tough as old boots. I love that description.
Take any frost. Yeah, really hardy.
Oh, so that has our lifetime guarantee because they will be within our winter hardy selection of plants. So 3 of those included. You don't have to worry about it. Just enter those into your basket. You will get all 3 of those delivered for £11.97. That's under £4 each. Yeah,
which is
$3.99 each.
For because azaleas are always daft expensive in the garden centres. So I mean, I can easily see one garden centre with that in a 2-litre pot being $9.99,
Yeah, easily,
if not more.
Absolutely. 510804 is the item number that you need for that one. Go to yougarden.com in order to place your order, and make sure always whenever you place your order with YGTV that you use the offer code. This week it is YGTV1624. Now then, I told you we had quite a few little grow your own items on the show. And we're not stopping. We've got another one for you. This is the apple teeny. This is one that I do have in my garden. I loved the idea of growing an apple tree in my garden, but I wanted something relatively petite, easy to grow, and this was my choice because I just thought this is novelty but productive and interesting.
Yeah, it's the apple equivalent of puppies and kittens, honestly. Except they're never going to grow up. This is never going to grow up into a great big tree. It's always going to stay like a puppy or kitten, cute and gorgeous and adorable, and you're always kind of wanting it around and enjoy seeing it. And as Beck said, this is not going to turn into a huge apple tree. This gets to about a metre and a half in a very long period of time. Lovely little apples on there. They're about sort of golf ball size, but they're sweet, they're crunchy, they're edible. They're not like crab apples. They're not bitter and you don't want to eat them. They are lovely. And on the website, which made me laugh, on the YouGarden website, there was a suggestion they make great miniature toffee apples, which I think
yeah, I know, I love it.
Be fab, wouldn't it?
Yeah, fantastic, because they will be cropping at the right time. You get your crops of apples September, October time, so perfect time. The blossom on here, by the way, and I can tell you this because obviously I have my own one at home. The blossom is phenomenal. Really tight kind of burgundy, pinky, really dark pink coloured buds that open up into those beautiful pink flowers. They fade and they turn into a sort of creamy white colour, but the blossom is fantastic.
Is it fragrant? Did you notice any fragrance?
I didn't smell. I don't know.
Because apple blossom is noted, isn't it, quite often for its fragrance?
Yeah, I should have had a sniff. I didn't have a sniff. I will check the next time. There might still be some blossom. I'll check. The apples you're going to get from these are going to be those lovely small ones, which I love the idea of. It's a great way of getting kids to maybe be more interested in it. The foliage on here is really interesting as well, isn't it? It's not just green. There's shades.
Yeah, the new foliage comes through. It almost reminds me of the Petunia, the red robin, because the new foliage comes through this sort of purpley red, or actually more like bronze, this kind of bronzy coppery colour, which is a nice feature in itself. And then as the foliage matures, it goes down to sort of the green colour. We can already see on here that the blossom has already gone over slightly, and that these have been pollinated. And actually, on that one there,
is there an apple coming?
you could already see at the base there.
Is it starting to thicken?
Yeah,
slightly?
that's thickened there. So basically, that's the ovary there, and that obviously now that's been pollinated, and that will start to swell.
Exciting.
And that's where your apple's going to be. And sort of when you get the bottom of the apple, and you get that little indentation bit on the bottom of the apple, well, that's that bit. And then the opposite end, obviously, is where it's fixed to the tree. So already, there you go. That's your little embryonic apple. Just there, and then in another 4.
Check my apple teeny now. See if they've been.
Well, day on day, they gradually swell and swell and swell. By the end of sort of May, they'll be probably about sort of marble size, and then as you move into June, July, they'll move towards that golf ball size. Yeah, and then you've got those fruits, and they're not just a gimmick. They are edible, and they are crunchy, and they are sweet, and they are delicious.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It is just £9.99. We do have a £2 saving on there, so access that saving by entering the code YGTV1624. Lovely, sweet little apple tree for you to have in your garden. I've got it in mine. I will update on my social media as those apples start to grow, because I'm convinced I'm getting apples this year. I had the blossom. You know, it's going to be fine. I'm going to have apples this year, so I'll update on those. Carrying on with our edibles, grow your own. You know, put this into your garden. This is the kiwi fruit, and this one is called the Jenny.
It is called the Jenny, and this is something that I grew accidentally. I didn't kind of at the time. I remember going to a specialist plant centre, and this plant attracted me by the foliage. I just saw the foliage.
Well,
and,
it's fuzzy like, you know, the skin of a kiwi. It's got this lovely, fuzzy, soft texture to it.
And the leaves get bigger than
like
that.
it.
The leaves will get about 3 times the size of that. Really lovely, great big leaves. And those red stems again, or petioles as they call them on a leaf stem. So those lovely kind of red stems. And when they get going, these are really, really vigorous. But I remember buying this one, and I actually planted mine on a north-facing fence. And it did really, really well. I mean, it grew like crazy. And then I went out one particular day, and I saw these white flowers on them. They look like kind of strawberry flowers, but bigger. And I was like, strange. And then the penny dropped, because I've already got one actinidia called Actinidia colomicta, which is just an ornamental type of actinidia with multicoloured leaves. And I just thought this was another ornamental type of thing. And then I suddenly realised this is the real deal. This is the kiwi that fruit grows on. So what you want to do, though, is grow yours on a south-facing wall if you can, or west-facing. Yeah, a sunny spot. And it's weird, because it's one of those things Bex and I were saying the other day. Now I've had the pleasure of growing it. When I go to sometimes these open gardens, or you go to one of these sort of manors or somewhere, they've got the walled Victorian kitchen garden, quite often on the south-facing wall you'll see these being grown horizontally, and all the way along these clusters of kiwi fruit.
Wow.
So you can grow edible kiwi fruit in the UK.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal that we can do that, because I always thought kiwis, we have to import them. They have to come from lovely, hot, sunny, warm countries, which we can't say Britain is, can we? But no, you can absolutely grow those here. It is a double up deal. We do recommend going for 2 here, because obviously you'll get some cross-pollination thing going on. You'll ensure better fruit production, basically. It is just £9.99 if you want to go for 1, though, or you can double up and get 2 for £14.98. All right, so we're going to move on to a shrub. I've got a choicea. I see choicea all over the place. I think it's a great addition to any garden, because it's an evergreen, but it's when the flowers come on here, you get the most delightful scent, don't you?
Yeah, you do, fun enough. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of Mexican orange blossom is its common name. And a great shrub, this one. This particular one is really nice because this is very compact. You might have in your garden at the moment choicea tenata, the green one, or choicea
I think I've got the tenata, haven't I?
Yeah, and that can get quite big. That can sprawl. This one's much more compact.
Smell that, Adam.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's sweet smell, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that is really, really sweet. The foliage has a fragrance to it as well, which is a bit of a marmite-y thing, the fragrance, but the flower fragrance, that is knockout.
It's going to make you sneeze now, isn't it?
Yeah, I do get hay fever occasionally. But
that's delightful.
It is really nice. But the leaves are gorgeous. They've got almost like those little looping kind of miniature looping-shaped leaves. It's evergreen, so it looks good all the year through. It's not particularly fussed about soil. It will grow in full sun. It will grow in dappled shade or shady areas.
As well.
It's drought tolerant, and it will form a nice rounded shrub. And generally, this variety, when I've seen it grown in people's gardens over the years, I've never seen it really get much more than waist height.
Yes.
So if you've got a small space, but you want a lovely evergreen shrub, easy to grow, flowers and smells wonderful, doesn't really require any attention, disease-free, problem-free. You could grow it in a pot. Go for this. It really is a dazzler. Yeah, this is a Bobby dazzler. It's a Bobby dazzler, this one. It really is.
511002 is the item number. It's £11.99. Remember, if you are a club member, that you will get an extra 10% discount on everything that you order from us here today at YGTV. All of the plants, all of the pots, all of the compost, extra 10% discount off there. Now, Stu, did I hear you say we've got a news flash? It better not be about the polemonium. Okay, not yet. Okay, good. I haven't placed my order yet. What's the news flash? The Dahlia pink, yeah, the new one that we brought today. I remembered them. Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? We're just going to have a little look at something on the website. Hang on. We're just going to put one into the basket. There's one at $12.99, which is what we said they were. Oh no, another one dropped in. What's happened there? That's come down in price. So if you did want another one, or maybe you weren't thinking you were going to get another one, but now you are, because look at what oh, look. See the difference with adding one or two into your basket? Yep. I don't think it was a double up deal, but apparently it is. So just put two in your basket. Let's not question it. Just place the order. That basket, by the way, we can save £11 becoming a club member on that one. Probably should, shouldn't we? £5 to join, and you'll still save £6.
That's a nice basket, isn't it? Oh, look at that! I mean,
I love that Dahlia.
I love that. Just go. Can we go back a bit on that picture? Can we go back to where it was at the beginning? In that little. Where it was. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Look at that! I mean, that's the golden shot, isn't it? How
that's
beautiful
want,
is that, Bex? Look, I mean, just that lovely kind of curved display of flowers, and look at all the buds.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way to the bottom. Look, buds, buds, buds.
This is the beauty of Dahlia, isn't it? Because you just keep getting flower after flower after flower. You can cut a bunch of those, have them as that gorgeous indoor display, and then within a day or two, loads more will have opened for you.
They always remind me of lotus lilies.
Yeah.
They've got that lotus lily kind of look to them, haven't they? Knock out that one. You're going to love that one.
All right, well, we've given you a little top tip there. Add two into your basket. There's an extra saving for some reason. So, yeah, don't just go for 6. Go for 12 of those. Enter 2 lots into your basket and you'll see those savings come through. Right, so we're going to move on to our rhododendron. This is the Bollywood. And wow.
That's floored you, that one, hasn't it?
Just wow. Let me just tip that forward so you can see the full display of all of those beautiful flowers on there.
Well,
that is what we're talking about, isn't it?
Well, look at the name. There's no wonder that they call this Bollywood. I mean, you think of Bollywood, you think of glitz, of glamour, you think of colour, you think of sophistication, you think of excitement and brightness and, you know, just vum and joy and, you know, and that's what this brings. I mean, it's got everything, isn't it? I mean, it's evergreen,
really
so you've got that wonderful foliage. You've got foliage that isn't just green, but it's edged with that wonderful, wonderful kind of golden yellow margin. And then, if that wasn't enough, oh my goodness me, look at the lustre and the colour of those wonderful deep red pinkish flowers. Oh, this is such a stunning plant.
This is why rhododendron, honestly, it is just an incredible plant, because you've got glorious evergreen leaves. With the Bollywood, obviously, you've got that difference with it being that variegated, that lovely cream-tipped edges. But when it's in bloom, I mean, we often talk about how a plant gets smothered in flowers, and there is no better description for a rhododendron, is there?
No,
because it almost completely covers up that evergreen foliage.
It does, and I always remember when I was a kid, I was about 11 or 12, and my mum and dad took me to Kew Gardens for the very first time, and it was about May time I went, and they got something there called the Rhododendron Dell, and Bex, I tell you, I'll never forget when I walked towards it, and there's just this huge area of hundreds and hundreds of rhododendrons and azaleas. Oh, absolutely magnificent. I mean, this time of year, you're not going to find a shrub more kind of full of joy and colour and explosive colour than rhododendrons. They're just magnificent plants.
Yeah, they really, really are.
They look good for, you know, a good sort of 3 or 4 weeks. But this one, it's got that added benefit because even when the flowers fade, you've still got that lovely, gorgeous, sort of variegated foliage on there, giving you interest all the year through. And Bollywood sums it up for me. You know, you watch a Bollywood movie, you kind of look at the ethos of Bollywood: colour, glamour, light, joy, entertainment. This has got all those features.
Yeah, it really has. £10 saving on this one as well, so £24.99, £22.49 if you're in the club. So that saving is half of your club membership. I mean, right there with that one item. 510717 is the item number if you would like for the Rhododendron Bollywood to fall into your basket this afternoon. We are here with you for another about hour and 20 minutes. And what we need to do is take you back over to our favourites table, the pink lemonade, apparently. I'm not surprised. absolutely adoring this. We're going back to blueberry pink lemonade, which is here. Is it blueberry? Is it pinkberry? We don't care. It is a blueberry, but it's just a pink variety of blueberry. And we're getting a question from Simon asking if it is self-fertile.
Yes, we are saying these are self-fertile, but we're also saying if there's other blueberries around, that will, that's even better, really, to kind of.
And that's any blueberry. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be a pink blueberry.
No.
Any blueberry.
Blueberry family, that'll be fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And there's a lot of blueberries around these days. So, again, I've got lots of customers who've got blueberries going in their garden. Blueberries are very, very popular now. So, honestly, you're not going to have any problem getting fruit on these at all. I know lots of my customers who've grown blueberries, and they get loads and loads of lovely blueberries every year. So you're not going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Because we are actually, loads of people are growing more to grow your own things, which means that there's free pollen, isn't there?
Yeah.
Unless you live somewhere, right out in the middle of nowhere. But basically, we're living amongst people who are growing these. So if there's somebody 3 streets away,
that's it.
It's free pollen.
And the bees will, and the bees love the flowers on these. They flower quite early in the year, and then they've got these lovely lantern white. Sometimes they're pinky colour, bell-shaped flowers in hanging little clusters, which look glorious. And then, the bees fertilise them, and then obviously, the fruit starts to set. But this is a plant that's not just all about the fruit. These have the most incredible autumn colours on the foliage.
Yeah,
they turn crazy fiery reds and oranges and pinks. So you've got wonderful autumn colour. You've got very attractive flowers in the spring. You've got these pink blueberries that are more sweet than general blueberries. I love the colour of them. They're disease resistant. They're very easy to look after. They're not particularly fussy. I was going to get them. Well, we've got a pair of snips down there. We did have a pair of red snips somewhere, didn't we?
I'll have a look. I can see them.
Because I thought what we'd do is, Bex, we'll just clip this off the just to show people the habit of it. Because obviously, when this is on a, I'll let you do it.
No, you do.
I'll do it. Okie dokie. This is on a bamboo cane. So what we'll do is we'll just sort of where's another one up there?
They're just tied in, aren't they?
Yeah. So we'll just loosen that one there. There's a little one there. We'll take that off. Yeah. And there we go. We can just if we just sort of gently tease it out. And then you can see the blueberries. They're sort of a wiry. There we go. Look at that. It's a sort of a nice laxed kind of open sort of plant. And they are self-supporting. They don't need canes or anything. There we go. Look. Just forms a nice sort of open little thicket, and these sort of nice sort of wiry. If I turn it round, so you've got these nice wiry stems, and then for the first couple of years, I wouldn't do anything with these. I wouldn't worry about pruning them or anything like that. Just let it grow, let it establish, let it produce fruit, and then after a couple of 2 or 3 years, if you see some of these lower stems are getting a little bit, I don't know, they're kind of not so productive, they're looking a little bit sad, you might see the odd like crisscrossy little piece of twig, then just sort of clip all those little bits away and just try and keep a nice little group of upright stems, and that's all you need to do. Obviously don't sweat about it, or you're not going to do anything wrong. In fact, if you didn't ever prune it, it wouldn't matter, but if you just want to tidy up a little bit, that's fine. And that's what's great about blueberries. They pretty much just look after themselves. All you've got to do, if it's in a pot, is water them and feed them. Just need to point out, they do need the ericaceous compost if you haven't got acid soil in your garden, if you're going to grow them in a pot. But attractive, easy, fun, and if you want pink blueberries, go for this one. It's
a really good idea if you've got kids anywhere in your life, if you're an auntie, an uncle, a grandparent, a mother, a father, whatever that might be. If there are kids in your life, it's a fantastic thing to get them involved, even if they're not bothered about getting involved, just so they can see where, food comes from, how it grows. It's a great thing to do. But even if you haven't got kids anywhere in your life, how great is it to be able to grow your own blueberries? And these are just that little bit different, being a pink blueberry. Spread them on your cereal in the morning. Make yourself some pink blueberry pancakes, or
pavlova,
some pink blueberry
pavlova
muffins. I'm definitely doing that pavlova. I've got my blueberries growing. I'm going to have my pink lemonade. I've got strawberries. I've got honeyberries. I just need the kiwi, but I haven't. Anyway,
it's great.
I think you should add that one into your
It's really
basket.
fun, isn't it? What you can do
so
now.
Fun.
It is fun because you know, back in the old days, you think fruit safe, bananas, chopped apple, chopped pear, ooh, boring, same old, same old. Now, you just have these really new, different, unusual mixes of fruit. It's fabulous. It's exciting. It's different.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Polemonium, the Bressingham Purple, or Jacob's Ladder.
You love these, Bex.
I'm so in love with these.
Look at that. I'm struggling to think of another flower that is the very same kind of colour as this one, because they're almost bluebell colour, but not quite. And yeah, they're kind of a bluey, purpley kind of colour.
So they remind me a bit of and it's the combination here of the foliage and the colour of the flower and how they work together. But you know the geranium storm cloud?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's called storm cloud because you've got that kind of darker coloured foliage and it works perfectly with that kind of lilac-y blue colour. It's not the same at all, but it's just that combination between the foliage and the flower that I just think is outstanding. And then look, that's a perfect shot, Stuart. Look at that.
How gorgeous is that?
How beautiful is that cluster of flowers? And then those tiny yellow stamens that really do just ping next to that. It's incredible.
I even love the petal arrangement on that, the way you've got the sort of the 4 petals and then you've got that bottom petal that seems to almost protrude down a little bit further. And as Stu just said, that's like the little platform for the bee. So that plant has probably evolved over time to make that a landing pad, so that petal's slightly bigger so the pollinating insect can land on the petal.
Wow.
And then obviously it goes in there to try and get the nectar out, and then as it does so, the pollen from the stamens brushes on its back, and then off it goes to another flower, and then it sort of pollinates that other flower. So, just wonderful. And even the leaves on here as well, the leaves at the base of the plant, or the petioles, the leaf stalks, they've got that, what would you call that? It's like a reddish, kind of bronzy sort of colour there, which is really nice. And even the stems have got the colour to them as well.
They're nice sturdy stems as well, that's important. You can see how they're rising up out of that foliage, but they're nice and sturdy.
They are. And again, just casting my memory back to Polemonium over the years, I've never ever known anybody to need to stake Polemonium. They're on those strong, stout stems, so they don't blow over. Mm-hmm. They're not sometimes like Delphiniums or the taller things that need staking.
They don't get much taller though, do they?
No, these are very compact varieties, so probably knee-height kind of tops, really. Average human kind of knee-height tops. I'm not saying like knee-height to a 2-year-old, but sort of about knee-height-ish. Bad example, really. About that high. But yeah, and tough plants that are going to come up year after year after year, drought tolerant, frost hardy. These will definitely have lifetime guarantee, and there's going to be no surprise here because no, we haven't done this one because come on you.
Squeeze it.
Oh, hey. Hello, look.
Wow.
Again, look at that.
Strong, healthy, ready for you to plant out. You can plant these out right now, can't you? There's
definitely.
no kind of potting on, growing on. You can get these out in your garden and just enjoy those for many years to come.
Same day.
3 pots included in that deal for you. The item number is 561253, and we've got a £13 saving on that one. So it's a really good one. It's an almost half price. Big saving on there. So do add those into your basket. They're in mine. I will be placing my order for those. Those are ones that we did have a slightly low stock of. So they're not going to sell out right now, but there is a lower stock of that than other ones. Well, there's a chance apparently before the end of the day. Stu, let me know so I can press go on my order.
Because we've got a two numbered amount, haven't we? I believe we're down to.
Yes, we're
double digits. That's the easier way of saying it, rather than 2 numbered, double digit. That's why Stu's technical and I'm a gardener, isn't it?
Right, we're moving on to the Bowls Mauve, which is just another phenomenal plant in your garden. If you want something easy to look after but that will flower for 10 months of the year, and I promise you, this will flower for 10 months. I have this in my garden. It's absolutely incredible. I love that variation of the colour as well that you get on this plant. I think it really adds a dimension of interest in there.
There's something, because each flower is very simple, And I think it's the simplicity of the individual flowers, but it's the mass of flowers on one stem that kind of really makes it stand out. And if as a kid, if you grew night-scented stock or you've grown stocks, you can see, especially with the night-scented stock, it's got the same shaped flower. And like Bex, I have seen these growing for many, many years, and they seem to grow almost anywhere. They're not really fussed about soil. They just flower for a daft amount of time. They seem to flower. Well, last year, this garden that I mentioned to you in St Neots, it's a building company who look after their show garden. It hasn't stopped flowering. It was flowering last summer. It kept going all the way through the winter. It started flowering now because we've had one of the mildest winters for ages anyway. So, yeah, if you want sort of constant colour, if you want a plant that's robust, disease resistant, really unfussy about soil, great for pots, just what we call a good doer, yeah, go for these. You'll adore these. There's not much more to say other than the fact that they're just incredible, robust, prolific, floriferous plants.
Yeah, brilliant. And you are going to get 3 of those, which is perfect for planting. We love planting in odd numbers. Obviously, you get lovely natural displays if you do that. 560069 is the item number. That one is a massive saving. £18 saving on that particular item. I think that's the biggest saving, really, or one of the biggest savings that we've got for you here today at YGTV. But what we do have now is the most popular item that we have brought you on YGTV for many, many years.
I'm only laughing because I said to myself, I'm not going to touch the compost this time.
As soon as you walked over.
And I just did it straight away. I thought, no, I'm going to hold back.
No, you can't help it.
But no, you can't. You go straight in because it
got to be done.
Yeah, it just because you were saying the other day. There's something in.
Yeah, there's something in, and I posted it on my Instagram and Facebook just yesterday. In actual fact, there is something within soil and compost that releases serotonin in your brain. So when you smell it. Oh, it smells so good. But it releases happy hormones into your brain, which, you know, this is why, and I very much use gardening as a way of just chilling out, man.
Yeah.
Like, I get, if I'm stressed, I'm menopausal, basically. I'm going to put it out there. I am what they call perimenopausal. And anxiety, and just sense of impending doom and all of those things, that has really hit me hard over the last sort of 6 to 8 months. It's been horrible. I put it out there. It's not very nice.
No, but it's good to talk about it.
But certainly getting out in the garden, and I just find it a great place to be. My stress levels, anxiety levels go from here to here within about 20 minutes of being outside. It's an absolutely fantastic thing to do for any of those kind of mental health and anxiety and stress levels.
Yeah, well, I'll back you up on that as well.
And this is one of the amazing things.
It is, yeah. I mean, because, I in the past, I've taken medication for depression, like a lot of people. I've had sort of mental illness, depression problems. And again, getting outside, gardening, getting involved with plants, same with you. I go outside for a couple of hours, I come back in, I feel lifted, I feel liberated, I feel energised, I feel kind of happy again. And the weird thing is that we're surprised by that because, in the modern age, we live in very kind of mollycoddled, sealed kind of homes and houses, don't we? But, go back 200 or 300 years, we were so much more connected with the land and the soil and the plants, which is, I guess, why, when we get that kind of smell, it triggers that kind of happy feeling. And that's a good thing about this as well, because this does have that kind of nice smell. And when we, just getting back to talking about sort of this compost specifically, sometimes, you and I have experienced buying different composts, and we've opened the bag and
I've been really disappointed. It smells horrible. You get great, right, as we move our hands through this, there are no great big lumps and chunks in here.
No.
Honestly, there really isn't. And the number of times I've opened another bag of inferior compost and there's great big chunks of stick and uncomposted material. And it really frustrates me, particularly, no matter what I'm planting out, actually, but particularly if I'm planting a tiny plug or I'm trying to get seeds to germinate. They can't break through those huge, great big lumps and chunks.
And the soil-based one. Yeah,
Can
well,
you tell?
Yeah, well, I've bought the soil-based one before now, like seed compost, and I've done kind of sown the seeds and stuff, and then I've watered it, and then the whole of the top has almost gone like cement, and it's just enough.
It forms like a crust.
A crust, yeah, and then the poor little seeds they can't get through. This, I mean, first of all, this is a hugely peat-reduced compost. No yeast in it, it's yeast-free, as far as we know. But what we've also done, we've put this composted wood fibre in it, and that helps to bulk the compost up, but it does so many more things. It lets the air, the oxygen, penetrate down to the roots. It lets the water percolate through, but also it allows those little tiny roots to start to get down into this compost and establish themselves. There's a wetting agent, which means this compost wants to absorb moisture. It's like kitchen towel. It just loves kind of, sucking up the moisture. Beck's there has got the slow release fertilizer, the little beads there that actually break down over a period of time and feed your plants for up to 6 months. It's pH balanced, sounds gobbledygooky, but it basically means it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline, so more plants are going to grow in this. It comes in these very simple white bags for the simple reason it's not going anywhere else from the supplier till it gets to you. It's from the supplier to you. We don't need to put anything on the bags. The reviews just tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, definitely. If you are one of our newer viewers and you've never used this compost and you're wondering why are they getting so excited about compost, because it's just compost, then I would love you to put a little message into the chat on Facebook or YouTube. Ask our regular viewers, just say, is this compost any good? And they will let you know their thoughts on it. I'm not worried about asking that question at all because I know how good this is. We also have hundreds of reviews currently on our website against this. Over the years, we've had thousands and thousands of reviews about this particular product. Stu will often go to the website for us. He's our controller in the other room. He'll often go to the website to show some reviews. He doesn't pre-look at them before he brings them up. He just picks a page and shows it because we are that confident on how good this compost actually is. It is the compost that we use here at the nursery. This nursery has been in business for 2 decades now. Our business is growing plants. We will not use an inferior product for growing our plants. If there was a better compost, we would be using it, I can promise you. All right, so we're going to read a review. Stu's just looking at some reviews, apparently. Here we go. We've got one here. Peter's got a nice review. Ideal one for seedlings. And as a main in the greenhouse, we're mixed with vermiculite. Brilliant. Claire, she liked it. Have used this one for quite a while, never had a problem, very happy. Philip, compost had many hundred green snail eggs.
No, that's the slow release fertilizer.
The eggs, the compost was a good quality. No, they're not snail eggs. Philip, no, you need to be watching YGTV. They're not snail eggs.
Snail eggs are white.
I showed you them. Those are the slow... Oh. Philip, that's a slow release fertiliser. There's no snail eggs in there. That's the slow release fertiliser. It's going to feed your plants for a good 5 or 6 months once you plant stuff out. Oh, I hope he didn't go around picking all of those out. Could you imagine?
It's taken a long time.
It would have taken him a long time to pick all of those out.
I see snail eggs at work and they're white, very small and white. But
we need to get a message to that Philip.
Yeah.
And let him know. Other than that, it's really good, he said. I really hope he didn't take them out. All right, 100125 is the item number that you need if you want to add your compost in. It is free postage on this particular item. So if you just want to buy the compost and get your free gift of 75 anemone blander bulbs, you can do that. Just enter the code YGTV1624. Now then, we're going to give you a reminder of some of the items that you've seen already. We are talking about the Oleander bush. Now, this is the creamy yellow oleander that we've got for you here. It is a buy one, get one absolutely free. So these are normally £29.99 each. But today on YGTV, if you put one of those into your basket and you enter the code YGTV1624 into the offer code box, we'll put one into your basket free of charge. That's amazing, isn't it? £15 each. Lovely holiday feel that you get with oleanders. They grow freely in those warm, hot, sunny countries across the Mediterranean. They are drought tolerant when they get established. They're evergreen, so they look fantastic all year round, but they will flower for you for months of the year. They're starting to bloom now, and they'll keep going right the way through to about September, October time as well. Really easy to look after. They thrive on neglect. 680059 is your item code. Then we've got our bleeding hearts, the Dicentra spectabilis alba. Now what you need to do is put 3 in your basket for this triple deal. Please don't. So when you go onto the website, you'll see that you can buy them individually or there is a 3-pack. Do not put the 3-pack into your basket. In order to get this deal, you need to put 3 of the individuals into your basket. If you put the triple pack in, you won't get this triple deal for £12.98. So put 3 individual items of this into your basket. Code you need is 560767, and you will get 3 delightful bleeding heart plants here. I mean, the flowers on here are so unique, so interesting. I really think the stems, look, those graceful arching stems you get with each of those flowers just sort of lined up. I think they're really pretty, and they work great in shady areas in your garden as well. This is not a plant that needs or requires full sun. 560767 is the item number that you need. Remember, it's 3 of the individuals you put in, not the triple pack. Next we have Appletini. Love this plant, look. So this is going to create miniature apples for you, and I love the idea of this. They're like miniature lunchbox size apples. I've got this in my garden, and that's a cherry you can see right there. And that is the apple next to it, just to give you a size comparison that we're talking about. I really wanted an apple tree, but I didn't want a big apple tree. I just don't have the space for it, but this is perfect. It lives in one of our heavy-duty pots. It will live its entire life happily in there. The blossom is spectacular, but then that is going to turn into some of the cutest, sweetest, juiciest apples that you can possibly imagine. It's a £3 saving. It's just £9.99 or £8.99 if you are in the club. Love the idea of this. Can't wait to update you later on in the year when I've got apples growing on mine. 300210 is the item number. We've got lots of grow your owns on the show today. Just go and have a little look at our show page if you want to check out what else is there. This is the Callistemon, the Bottlebrush. This is our showstopper, or certainly one of the showstoppers that we've got for you on the show today, because this is the standard variety. So you've got a lovely, tall, straight stem, and then this explosion at the top of these bottlebrush-shaped flowers. It wants a sunny spot, this. You want to put it in as much sun as you possibly can. It's going to be hardy down to probably about sort of -5. So once we start getting into freezing temperatures, might want to give it just a little bit of extra protection. But in most areas, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Drought tolerant once it gets established. Beautiful evergreen leaves on there. Really easy for you to look after, and it will be a head turner. I think that's we often talk about feature plants. That one is a real feature. That will be stand out, particularly if you've got it in a pot in the middle of a sunny patio somewhere. That will delight you. Now, here's a mainstay, I think, for every garden. I think along with ceanothus and a couple of other plants, I think every garden should have space for a troisia in a border somewhere. Again, it's an evergreen plant. It grows in a really nice, kind of neat, rounded shape. There's very little pruning that you need to do. I just tidy the edges of mine occasionally. But once you get these flowers on here, it's also called the Mexican orange blossom, I think is the name. The flowers have the most delightful citrus scent on them, and they do cover the evergreen foliage. Mine is in full bloom right now. I don't have the white dazzler variety. Mine's the Tonata, is that what it's called? Choisia Tonata, that's it. I got the Sundance, we think. Yeah, the golden colour. But it is smothered in the flowers, and the fragrance is delightful. I really, really enjoy this one. It's great in a mixed border, and it doesn't take over, it doesn't get too big either. £11.99 is the price on there, and of course £10.79 if you are in our discount club. Ah, look, there's mine. Look how many flowers are in there. And look, that's one of the bowls mauve just below it. That's the bowls mauve that's in the sunnier spot. So that's the sunniest border. It looks great. The one in the other border, which is a shadier border, it does much better for some reason, but there you go. 511002 if you want the choicier white dazzler. Next up, we have, those Japanese azaleas, that lovely little trio of azaleas that we've got there. 3 colours included. You get the red. Oh my word, look at that. I mean, that is incredible, isn't it? You get a beautiful pink included as well, and you will get a white there. I think all 3 of those planted together somewhere. That will look gorgeous, won't it? Particularly as they'll sort of meander slightly. They won't like trail in, but just slightly into each other. You get that lovely mixture going on.
I like the way the azaleas back is they kind of, they're all at different heights, the stems as well. So
yes.
you get that kind of, well, you can see there, that just sort of like stepped or tiered kind of flowering.
Yeah, very, very nice. 3 of those included. 510804 is the item number. Massive saving on that one as well. It is an £18 saving on there. As long as you enter the code YGTV1624, that is how you access the saving. If you don't put that code in, I'm afraid that you will be paying full price, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to get the best value possible, and that's how you do it, by entering the code. Just having a little slurp of my drink before we carry on. Right, so I've mentioned heavy duty pots a couple of times. We know loads of you have got these. I've got lots of these as well. Let me tell you what I've got growing in here at the moment. I've got 3 blueberry plants. My apple teeny is in here. I'm just working my way around the garden. I've got some garlic growing in here. Bit further round, I've got my menopause rose growing in here, and I've forgotten the name of it.
What's it look like?
Cordyline.
Cordyline.
And a cordyline growing in here as well. So I've got loads. Stu has to write it down because my brain goes. I've got loads of these in my garden, but not just for growing things in. I use them for garden clearance, storing things in the shed. They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're brilliant, Bex. I mean, even things like later in the year, when you're harvesting, say, potatoes or carrots or something, and they might be all a bit muddy and stuff, you can just put them in here, flush them over with the hose, and almost treat it like a giant colander.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the great thing about these pots is there's holes in the side and there's holes in the bottom, because sometimes when you've had pots sitting on the ground for a long, long time in one place, the soil builds up underneath and the holes get blocked, don't they? And the plants can get waterlogged. But because you've always got these holes on the side, waterlogging is not going to be a problem.
Which is great when you think about the kind of weather that we've just recently had.
Absolutely.
You know, the deluges of water. You know, if the plants sit in water for too long, as you say, that can be the death of some plants, can't it?
I'm sure it was you telling me 2 or 3 weeks ago you had something that was sitting in a pot waterlogged for ages. What was it?
It was my not my Acer, but my little bonsai, the Japanese larch.
Right.
I'd mistakenly left it in a pot that didn't have any holes in the bottom, just left it outside, and it was sat in this pot of water, probably for about 3 months. And I was like, well, I've killed that now. But it's come back to life. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
No, that's good. You
cannot believe it.
Yeah, you're kind of lucky there.
I was really lucky because I spent a fortune on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, where larch grow naturally, they do grow in quite high rainfall areas, so you've got away with that. But, you know, if that had been something, I don't know, like one of your Oleanders or something, you know,
it would have killed it.
It would have killed it. It would have gone. So that's great. You've got that belts and braces drainage on these as well. You've got these incredibly strong handles as well. Let's give it a pull. Go on then. Be like, yeah, look at that. I mean, yeah, those handles aren't coming off, are they? They're on there for life, those handles.
They're moulded on, okay, so there is no breaking with these. It's incredible, honestly, and I bought those floppy plastic ones in the past. I've still got them and I still use them, but the amount of times the handles are broken off, and then I've got the gaffer tape around it to try and stick it back on.
You're talking about the sort of the truggy thing. So I've got 3 of them hanging up on a hook in my garage, and 2 of them, there's only a handle left on one side.
Exactly.
Because a particular day I put a bit too much weight, and I went to pick it up, the handle came away. These, I mean, you know, you could, if you want to move, you might be, I tell you what, that's the example. 2 or 3 months back, I was telling you about a job I did on the estate where I live, and we had to get rid of 6 great giant bags of gravel. But the trouble was there was a fence at the back of this border, there was a fence on either side, and along the front was a little shin rail fence, so that we couldn't wheel a wheelbarrow into it. So literally went up to the bags, filled each one of these up with gravel, wheelbarrowed it down, lifted it over, and these were brilliant just for stuff like that. Or it could be storage. I've got one of these just outside my near my water butt, and I used to store all my bamboo canes just in the corner, and they kept slipping down and falling everywhere. It drove me mad. So now I just put them all in the base of there. They don't go all over the place, and they don't rot because the water drains out of the bottom. But yeah, there's a myriad of uses for these.
So in my little shed down the side of the house, excuse me, I've got one of these, which is my garden trug. So if I'm ever out in the garden doing anything, all I do is I go and pick this up, because it's got my little knee pad in here, it's got my snips in there, it's got my trowel in there, it's got my little mini fork and my gloves. So it always lives in here, so that whenever I'm out in the garden, all I do is I go and pick this up and I take everything out in one go. And I've got pretty much everything I'm going to need, and then all the trimmings, you know, go into here, and then it goes into the big bin. They're brilliant, honestly. They're great if you've got a wood burner. You can carry your logs to and fro. If you're taking anything down to the tip, you can put them in here. This genuinely, along with the tower pot, but for completely separate reasons, this will be one of the best things that you put in your garden. One of the most useful things that you have. UV
resistant, frost resistant, and yeah, these are going to last. Well, I can imagine. I don't think saying a lifetime is exaggerated, because
I think we
why
say
wouldn't
that
they?
They will last you 10 years, but
Easily.
I know that Sean has had his for 12, 13 years. I've had mine a good 5, 6 years. We know people that have had them way longer than 10 years, and they're still going really, really strong. So it's an excellent investment, and it is just £17.99 for you today, because there is a £2 saving. They're normally £19.99, so you are getting a bit of a saving on here. £16.19 if you're in the club, so that's just that's £4.05 each, basically, if you are in our discount club. You can see, can't you? I keep talking about this discount club. If you're not a member, I'm hoping that I'm really bringing to light to you why you need to be. Costs you just £5 to join the club.
Did you just say £4 and 5?
£4.05 each. Yeah, if you're in the club. £5 to join the club. That £5 keeps you in the club for a whole year. There's nothing else to pay for that year. It will automatically renew at £5. Even if we put the price of the club membership up, you will only ever pay £5. Just don't ever cancel that auto renewal. You can if you want to, of course. We're not tying you in. If you decide you're not doing any gardening anymore, then you can cancel that auto renewal at any point. But it's going to give you a 10% discount off every single plant, accessory, compost order that you make. You can even get 5% off our outdoor living and gifts order sections. You can get £20. That includes furniture, power tools. What was that? Garden lighting? Ooh, I need to up my garden lighting.
Yeah, especially now, because that's once this cold weather finally shifts, I think beginning of May, temperatures are going to start to warm up, and then we will start to really be getting out into the evenings, won't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go and sit outside and eat.
I need some more. What do you call it? Solar lamps. I've got. Because
Well, that's the 5% discount you get on those. Basically, we can't give you a 10% on those. The margins don't allow for it to happen, but we can still give you a 5% discount on those. You get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers. That breaks down to £5 every 3 months. It all comes out to you with your welcome pack. You get those vouchers with your welcome pack, which in Adam's head means that you can spend even more money. Love his maths. So it's a really, really good time to join our club. Stuart's telling me we've had several people join this morning, so hopefully I haven't bored all the regulars. Apologies if I have. Right, we're moving on. We've got our 6 litre terracotta, the Bella round planters, and these are on a buy one, get one, absolutely free. Now these are a really handy size, I think, for winter bedding, summer bedding, smaller shrubs, plants.
These are simple but practical.
Yeah.
Tough and resilient pots as well. And sometimes a plain pot you know, can fit into a situation better than a decorative pot. But yeah, I like these, UV stable, frost resistant. I tell you where I would probably be using these later in the year, for putting spring bulbs in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Really, really good. So
Yeah.
like probably about September, October time, I might even be doing a bit of lasagna planting with these. So I'd probably, you know, sort of a third of the way up with compost, and I'd have some daffodils. Then I might go up again, put some tulips, and go up again, put some crocuses. And then what I would do, I would just sort of tuck these pots away down the back of the shed or around the corner of the bungalow or something, just because I didn't want to see them empty. And then of course in the spring, you suddenly see all the little bulbs come through, and then you can bring them back round. And I think spring bulbs in a sort of a terracotta looking pot just always look really, really nice.
Well, something very classic, isn't there, about that kind of look? They're not terracotta, so these aren't going to leach all the moisture out.
No.
I mean, look, terracotta has its place for certain plants. So I use terracotta for my aloe veras because I call them a drench and drought kind of plant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They want to really dry out, and then I drench them, and then so it helps that it leaches the water out.
Yeah.
So I use them for those, but for the majority of things, you don't need that at all. And in actual fact, you want to retain the moisture in the pot. So this is a benefit of plastic over terracotta in those instances.
And lightweight as well. So again, if you've got that balcony, if you've got a rooftop garden, if you're not as fit as you used to be, you know, you don't want
If you
really
accidentally
big,
do
heavy
this,
pots.
it's not going to crack and break.
It's no problem, is it? I mean, these, you know, these are tough. These really, really are sort of super tough pots, aren't they?
Yeah, really tough.
Yeah, they've got the fantastic drainage holes in the bottom there as well, so they're going to drain really, really well. And you can't see any joins or seams. You can't see where they've come off the blow mould. There's no little bits of flimsy kind of plastic bits hanging off. And they're going to last you for year after year after year after year.
And just think about this. So it's £6.99 for a buy one get one free. Okay, so if you are if you're spending just under £40, so $39.99, and you're spending $6.99 on postage, wouldn't you rather have these in your basket, pay no postage, get more, pay less, basically, is what we're saying. Have something useful that you might not even know what you want to plant in them yet, but you'll find something, I can promise you that much. 130422 is the item number. With a buy one, get one free, put one in your basket and then put the code in and we will enter it in. Look at this basket here. So we've got $39.96. We are spending $6.99 on postage. So look, order total, $46.95. Now let's put one of these in. Terracotta planter, yep, we're going to add that to basket. We're going to go and view our baskets. The order is still $46.95, but instead of paying postage, we've got 2 of our Bella planters. That's exactly what we're talking about here, okay? So get more, spend less. Or spend the same amount of money, but get more, is what we're doing in that particular instance.
That's where I'd go.
Yeah. That's Adam's maths. Right, so this one is a great little deal here, because what we've got is our Torino, which is a buy one, get 2 free. Love a buy one, get 2. It's even better than a buy one, get 1, isn't it?
Yeah, and these Becks, again, they're brilliant. I mean, I love your idea of the steps, putting these down either side of the steps, because they're kind of just the right size to fit in the corner of the steps without overlapping.
The tread width of a step.
Absolutely ideal.
If you've got if you've got steps in your garden, how beautiful. Have some going down one side and then some going down the other side. They're just pretty.
And the thing is, they're a small pot, but it's all the detail. I like the recurved lip on the top there, which is really nice. I like the kind of the horizontal lines that have got going around the side. Just adds a little bit more interest to it.
That brushed kind of bronze, coppery colour to it.
Antique-y look. And again, we were saying earlier on, it'd just be great to put these on a bench somewhere in a high street and just sort of let people walk past and just say to them, I'll give you a tenner if you can tell me whether these are plastic or metal.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of people wouldn't get it right.
No.
Because they just look so great. These. I used to absolutely hate plastic pots. I wouldn't have plastic pots.
They weren't as good as they are now, though, are they?
No,
and actually, there are still some rubbish plastic pots out there, and there's a garden centre near where I am, and I went probably 6-8 weeks ago now. But I went specifically to look at the plastic pots, because obviously we always talk here about how amazing our plastic pots are, how you can't tell that they're plastic. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And then I went to look at these ones, and they are awful.
Naff.
Naff.
Yeah,
that's a
naff.
great word. They're naff. These are not nice.
I remember donkeys years ago, I can say the company because they're not around anymore, but I worked for a company called Texas Home Care, and we used to sell those Grecian urns where you used to sort of clip the top bit onto the bottom bit, white ones. And we sold about 99p. We sold thousands of them. Then thousands came back because after people had filled them up, they kind of just sort of leant to one side and collapsed. Yeah, cheap as chips, and didn't last.
Oops.
You know, our pots aren't like that. Our pots will last you year after year after year. These are robust. These are high quality, UV stable, frost resistant, lightweight, attractive pots. Plastic pots you're going to want in your garden.
Yeah, put 1 in your basket and you'll get 2 free. Put 2 in your basket, you'll get 4 free. Put 3 in your basket, you'll get 6 free. You see where I'm going with that? I think if you are going to do the thing where you're putting them up the steps, obviously you're going to want to multi-order here. Again, please don't use those ones. Don't use the multiples. This offer is available on the singles. I know, it's annoying, but just put 1 in and then go in and increase the quantity to however many it is that you want. If you added 2, you'll get 4 free. If you add 3, you'll get 6 free, and so on and so forth. It's a similar situation than we showed you on the previous basket example. If you're hovering just under the £40 mark and you're paying £6.99 postage, just put some of these in your basket. You will spend less with this item and you will get more. Right, we've got a few more pots to talk to you about. This is the Eclipse. This is a gorgeous little planter. Absolutely adore this one, but this is a climber. I've got the miniature patio clematis, the boulevard. I'm laughing because Stuart had to tell me all of these things I've got in my garden. I've got so much going on in my head. Stuart has to remind me of things.
He knows your garden better than you do by now.
I think everybody at home does as well, to be honest. They're right, for God's sake, sort your brain out. Anyway, yes, it's gorgeous. Little patio clematis I've got growing in
purple,
mine.
we've now discovered.
Purple, yeah,
purple
it's the purple one. And it's perfect for that because it's a smaller climber. So this is perfect for smaller climbers, isn't it?
Absolutely ideal. If you've got those little patio sweet peas, for example, or you've got the sort of the Thumbergias, you know, they'd be okay in there. The was it Lophus?
Yes, the red wine.
The Lophus red wine. That would be really, really good in there. But you don't have to have climbers in. I mean, you can just have this as an ornamental feature in its own right if you want to. But again, you know, just a high quality pot there. I mean, it just looks elegant. It sort of looks like the real deal. You know, just great. Again, all the pots, UV stable, frost resistant, lightweight. Good deal. Just brilliant.
I just point that out because these previously have been £11.99 at some point in the past. I mean, right now they're £9.99 for 1, or you can double up and get 2 of these for £14.98. Are these the rundown ones, Stu? Yeah, these are clearance. So the idea is that once these are gone, not the idea. What's actually going to happen is once we have sold through the stock of these will never come back again. We have not reordered these, so this is why these are on such an amazing deal for you. And it's the same when it comes to our bird planters. Now, I actually got these. I say I got them. My son gave these as a gift to my mother and my mother-in-law as their Christmas present. So we planted something in the middle. Hellebores, thank you, Stu. We planted hellebores in the middle and little daffodil bulbs around the edge.
You said that about your lips moving. That's quite good.
And then my mum and my mother-in-law got 1 each as their Christmas present. And the beautiful thing about that is that they're always going to have them now. Hellebores are going to come back. The daffodil bulbs are going to come back every year. They're going to look at those, and that's going to remind them of my son. Alison said her hellebores are still going. Yeah, do you know what? I've seen a few hellebores still going.
They're nice. Well, that's actually the seed heads, which are, you know, they're just as attractive as the actual flower as well.
Yeah.
That's probably the Helleborus niger, the Christmas rose.
Yes.
It's got the lovely white flowers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, stunning.
Looking good. Yeah, so the trellis planter, I really like the idea of this because what it is like is a picture frame, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because I remember another viewer sent a picture of one of these in about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they'd done that same thing. He kind of created that sort of framework there.
Frame,
yeah. And you know, as you say, these are great for gifts as well. I mean, back on Mother's Day, these would have been fantastic because you're going to put primroses and kind of lots of really nice, attractive things. These are great for sort of summer bedding as well. Just just imagine some sort of white or red geraniums in there.
I mean, you could plant
looking
something
really
in it
good.
that will climb if you want to. You know, having something climbing around this would be a beautiful idea as well. But I quite like the idea of it being a picture frame, that the plant is in the centre. But it's up to you. If you want to put a little climber going around there, great.
Well, you know, sometimes you see those little 9-centimetre pots of ivy.
Yes.
You know, you could just put little ivy each side, well, those little small-leaved ivies, and grow
that'd
that
be
up and
nice.
around if you wanted
yeah, and
to.
then something else in the
yeah,
centre.
and just something in the middle.
So your picture frame is a plant. You've just blown my mind there, Adam. Love that idea. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean,
Excited.
the options in these is just phenomenal, really. I mean, you can have things trailing over the side as well. In fact, you could do that, couldn't you? You could have like little lobelia trailing over the side. You could have a sort of an upright plant in the middle, like a nice white geranium. Then you could have like a little bit of ivy, just not all the way round, but just a little bit of ivy just creeping up around a little bit, just to kind of make it look like it's taking over, but it isn't, and it looks kind of like a bit of a little wild garden kind of going round it. You could do that if you want to, couldn't you?
Adam, I love that idea. Well, it is a buy one, get one free, so this is another one where you put one into... Oh, my word, is it $5.99? Are you kidding me? £6 for both of those? That's come down in price, hasn't it? It has, yeah. We haven't done it that low price before. OK, so these are going to work out at £3 each.
You know what you've got to do, didn't you? You've got to start chicking out your baskets.
Oh. Ba-da-bum.
Before they go.
130347 is the item you need.
Going cheap.
Just put one of those.
They're robbing us, aren't they? Really? You've got to be swift. or honestly, these will go. Yeah.
Just put one of them into your basket, enter the code YGTV1624, and the other one will magically appear. Just £3 each. Another way of you getting over that £40 mark and not having to pay that postage cost.
Selling at this price has been hard to swallow, hasn't it?
All right, so what I want to talk to you about is how to watch us. Obviously, you're watching us, so you already know how to watch us. But did you know that there are a few different ways that you can watch us? You can watch us on Facebook. We do a live stream there. You can watch us via our website as well at YouGarden.com. You can also watch on YouTube. But did you know if you've got a smart television, I don't know how you're watching us. Are you on an iPad or on your phone or something like that? If you've got a smart telly, which most of us have these days, so if you can go into a menu and you can watch Netflix or BBC iPlayer or ITVX, you know, where you go and you can see all of those. If you can do that, you can get the YouTube app up on your big telly and watch us via that. Let Stu tell us a bit more about that.
Hi, I'm Stuart from YouGarden TV, and if you've got a smart television and you're not doing it already, you can probably watch our live shows on YouTube. There's a few ways of doing it. Let me show you how. So, if your TV is a smart TV, it'll have applications like iPlayer, like ITVX, and even if you've never used it before, you can use YouTube. All you have to do is open it up and search for YouGarden. So if you search YouTube using this magnifying glass here and type in YouGarden, it'll take us straight to the YouGarden channel. What you want to look for is that circle. Select that and we'll go straight to the YouGarden channel. And then if we're live, it's the first thing you'll see. Select on that, and we're watching YouGarden TV. And if you're familiar with technology, you're slightly more advanced, you may even be able to send your picture straight from your smartphone to your TV. Once we've found the show on our smartphone, all we have to do is tap on the screen and look for that little symbol there. And that will show me if there's a television in my house that I can watch the programme on. Press on that TV, and it'll broadcast it straight to my set. And the picture will appear on your big TV. Now, if this is all still a little confusing, or if you're not even sure if your TV can do this, just email us, ygtv@yougarden.com, and we'll do what we can to help you out. Thanks for watching.
So yes, that's how you can watch us on the big telly. If you're sitting and getting annoyed watching us on a phone or on a tablet or something like that, and you've got a smart television, it's really, really, really easy to do. If you do need any help with that, by the way, Stu is a technical genius. I am going to say that. He really does know what he's talking about when it comes to all technical
He's like
stuff.
a guru of technology,
He is a
isn't
proper guru,
Yeah, he's
honestly.
amazing.
If you do have any questions about that, he is more than happy to help you. So just email him at ygtv@yougarden.com and he'll give you a helping hand in the best way that he can. Right, so we're going to show you some more plants because we still haven't got through everything. There's loads of stuff over here as well. We've got the lovely, was that the Weigela? No, it's called the Deutzia.
Deutzia at the back
that
there.
one's the
Yeah.
gorgeous one. We've got this one, which we love so much, the Exocorda. This one is beautiful. But what we're going to bring you right now is the Syringa, the Palabin. This is the lilac. Now, you were saying something about Palabin in relation to the other variety, weren't you?
Yeah, because there's oodles of lilacs found at the moment, and they're looking remarkable this year, actually looking really, really gorgeous. That's Syringa vulgaris, or kind of what we call the French lilac. Most of those lilacs have been bred in France over the years, but they only flower for about a couple of 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
And then that's it. There's no more colour for the rest of the year, or fragrance. This type of lilac, this is commonly referred to as Korean lilac, or a microphylla type of lilac. Great thing about this one, it flowers for month after month after month. It doesn't have one set, it doesn't have one set flowering period, and then that's it. So, I mean, this has already been flowering. We've got some out here at the nursery. They've already been flowering for weeks and weeks, and they have like a big flush of flowers this time of year. Then they throw out some more flowers throughout the summer, and then into the autumn time or late summer they throw out another big flush of flowers again. So you've always got that wonderful flower colour. You've always got that sweet fragrance.
It's coming now. So we had this particular bush here earlier on in the week, but the flowers hadn't quite opened, and you can see, because there's buds, but you can see that they're starting to open, and I'm really getting that fragrance.
You do get that punch of fragrance.
Lilac fragrance.
And also, it was a little bit cold in here earlier, Bex, wasn't it? And now we've put the heater on, it's warmed up a bit. It's sort of brought that fragrance out, hasn't it? But I've seen these growing in so many gardens over the years. I gave the example of a garden I used to go to in Buckhurst Hill, where the lady had a kind of an upper patio, then she had a sort of a bed that sloped down to it to a raised wall, and then a walkway. And this lilac was just on the side of this slope bit in the most awful soil, really heavy Essex clay soil. Right. It was super sunny, as I say, really dry, poor soil. And this lilac had been there for years and years and years, and yet it always, flowered. And I remember when I used to sort of walk round the path, you'd walk past it, and it was like, oh, lovely sweet fragrance all the time. And it never really got much taller than myself, so, only kind of about, 5 foot, 6 foot, I wish I was, but, that's the kind of height this will get to. And in the autumn, has the most amazing yellow leaves, really butter yellow kind of leaves. And oh dear. Oh, here we go. Or we're getting all rooty. Look at that.
That's a really good root structure there, isn't it?
Do you know what? See, you look at that now. That is just like the veins and the arteries in your body.
Yeah.
If you've got a vascular system in your body like that, you're healthy. The blood's getting around your body, the oxygen's getting around your body, the minerals are getting around your body. That's what that root system's doing for this plant. It's translocating the minerals, it's the water and everything. And what it means is that super healthy, vibrant root system is what's powering all this wonderful growth on top. We don't send out rubbish plants. We don't send out plants that aren't established. We don't send out plants that are not going to be able to fight for themselves once they go in the ground. You're just getting such an incredible plant here. The value of it is amazing. It's a plant that has got all those attributes of fragrance, long flowering. It's hardy. It's not fussy about soil, and you can have lilac all summer long rather than just for a few weeks in April.
Will it get as big as the vulgaris?
This one, say the maximum I've kind of seen is about our kind of height.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, about our kind of height.
So not too bad.
No, not bad.
Can you, if you want to keep them a bit smaller,
clip it. Just trim it.
Trim it back?
Yeah, just trim it back.
Oh, you can put it in a pot, because obviously that restricts the size.
Absolutely fine in a pot. Yeah, lovely. Great for pots.
All right, so fabulous. This is going to fit into all types and sizes of gardens. 510349 is the item number. We're going to move... Oh, and it's a £5 saving on that as well, which is accessed by entering our code YGTV1624. Now then, we're going to bring you back to the Callistem, and this has been an absolute winner. We started the show with it. We've come back to it multiple times throughout the show as well, because it is just so amazingly, breathtakingly beautiful. Lovely bottle brush type blue blooms on here. Loads of buds still wait. I mean, look at that one. Can I just point that one out to you? Because look, you can see all the red bits on there ready to open up, and the same on that one actually. And there's other where they are still
if I
green.
Flick that round,
I mean,
Bex,
it's incredible, honestly.
The buds are on that bit at the back. Look, how many buds there?
That one's got all the red bits on, ready to burst
Excuse
open.
me.
That one's not quite red yet. So you can see how many weeks and potentially months worth of colour you've still got to come from this. Now our Shawnee Ryan went out for a little wander on the nursery just last week to have a little look at these. Let's see from him, because I want you to see the kind of quality and the uniformity that we've got with what's sitting out there on the nursery floor right now.
I can honestly say that the Sedum that we've got right now at YouGarden, I think they're the finest I've ever seen. I mean, there must be, I mean, I'm not going to count them all, but there must be, what do you reckon, 1,000 maybe? But anyway, let me just pick one. Look at these. They're absolutely beautiful. And just to prove, let's go random. Okay, I'll close my eyes. I'm being silly now. What's that look like? Yay, there you go. Oh, I've just knocked one over as well, but they look, sorry, that won't do. But they are absolutely gorgeous. And what I love about them, they've been grown as a standard. So you often see in the UK the bush colour stem, but these have been grown as standards. The flowers are amazing. It's often called the Bottlebrush plant. They're actually really soft. The pollinators love them, but they are relatively hard in the UK. We say down to about -4, -5. I think grow them in pots. I'll be honest, I would probably put that in a really nice pot straight away. We're just going to have a look at the roots. Wow, yeah, look at those. They are just so well grown, amazing quality. There's loads of buds waiting to come out. And yeah, you can buy all 1,000 if you want, or maybe just buy 1 or 2. But some of the most stunning that I've ever seen here at YouGarden.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? And this is why we like to show you those little clips. This is why Stu takes us out onto the nursery floor and collects these quick clips, is what we call them, just so that you can see, you know, these are brought from the nursery, which is just outside the doors there, and they are brought in here. What we want to show you by bringing you those clips is how amazing the stock is, how they're all of a similar size. If you were buying 2 of these, you will get 2 similar looking plants, you know?
Because they've all been grown professionally. You know, the straightness of the stems, that was what's amazing on these as well, and just the multi-branching on the top of these. Not just like 2 or 3 stems, but look, I mean, it's like a bush on a stick, to be honest, just smothered in blossom, isn't it? I mean, it's a shrub on a stick. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's like, you know, I almost feel like I just want to sort of, you know, cut the top off and just present it to you, Bex, as a gorgeous bunch of blossom, you know, and kind of, yeah. I mean,
I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. Come on, remarkable.
Yeah. Beautiful evergreen, glorious flowers, winter hardy, down to probably about -5. Very little extra effort that you've got to put into that, but it will delight you for many, many years to come. 680093 is the item number. £10 saving on that, so £29.99. If you're a club member, you're going to get £3 discount off that, because you get 10% off everything that you buy, plants, pots, compost. Bearing in mind your club membership costs just £5 to join, and you'll get £3 off just that one item. You can see how those savings are going to add up for you. Now it's a similar item, it's a similar story with the oleanders, because this savings on here is nuts, because it's a buy one get one free, so you're instantly saving money here anyway. You're saving £30 straight away because it's buy one get one free, but then we're also going to let you take a 10% discount off there as well, so another £3 saving. It's incredible.
Look at the colour as well, this. I mean, I adore this colour, that kind of very soft yellowy colour. And it's a bit deceptive, really, because the buds almost look orangey, don't they?
Peachy,
yeah,
pink,
peachy,
don't
yeah.
they?
And you kind of think, oh, that's going to open out sort of a pinky peach colour, but then it opens out, those flowers sort of fade down to that sort of mellow yellow kind of colour, don't they? But look again, I mean, the quality of those Becks. I mean, you know, like there's 8 or 9 stems in each pot. There's leaves all the way down to the base, not spindly sticks, you know, with just kind of a few, like, I was going to say piddly. Can I say piddly?
Yeah.
few piddly flowers on top. You know, I've said it already. You know, just masses of blossom on there as well. So flowering now, they're going to keep flowering for month after month after month. And all they ask of you, these oleanders, they're not particularly fussed about having a super fertile soil. They'll grow in quite a few different soils, but
well, considering they grow just naturally down, you know, if you've been to like
Gran Canaria or the Canaries, there's a place up there,
all around there, they just grow wild, and there's nobody there tending them, mulching them, giving them extra manure and feed, and there's nobody doing that. They just grow. Again,
a lot of those places have got that really bare, rocky, craggy kind of soil, haven't they?
You can't say it's quality soil.
No, not really. No, but I mean, you know, but these are just so easy to grow, and all they'll ask of you in the UK is just put me in the most sunny, warmest spot in the garden. That's where they'll be happiest. That's where they'll give their best performance.
Mostly, they just want you to leave them alone.
They do. Yeah, there isn't a lot to do with them. And just one quick tip: if you do ever want to prune them, just wear gloves if you want to clip or prune them.
Yeah, and don't eat them. I should have said this earlier. Sorry, but yes, they are toxic, along with a lot of other things that we grow in our garden. So you know, cats, dogs, things like that. Just don't let them nibble on it, basically.
But other than that, you know, just enjoy them, to be honest, because they will, you know, give you that feeling of being on holiday, of being abroad. And you know, those of us that have been lucky enough to go on holidays abroad, we all know that kind of thing, don't you? You've been on that long flight, you know, the door of the plane opens.
This is my favourite bit.
It
hits you.
That's it. You feel that the heat hit you. You just see that kind of, you know, sort of tarmac and stuff. You go through that building, you go to the carousel, you get your suitcase, and you're really just feeling, ugh. And then the doors open, and then just where the coach is behind, there's that bank, isn't there? And it's full of oleanders and bougainvilleas and callistemons and all these lovely, wonderful flowers. And bang, suddenly you realise you're not in the UK anymore. You're on holiday. You've got there. It's happy time. And that's what they do, don't they? They create a happy time feeling, don't they?
They do, definitely, giving you that holiday feel. And I love the fact that it's buy one, get one free, that you're getting a pair here, because this is where a pair works. If you want to put this either side of something, you know, got a lovely seating area, you've got your lovely furniture outside, it's getting warmer, you put these either side of that, and oh my word, you will feel like you're on holiday. Get yourself a little drink in your hand, a cup of tea, obviously, or a glass of wine, and you will feel like you're on holiday. The breeders of these are the best breeders in the world. That's, you know, Sicilian breeders. There's a waiting list to get to work with them, and our head gardener is super proud of that relationship. There is exactly the same deal available for you on the pink oleander bushes as well. So cream yellow, or you can go for the shades of pink. Let's hear from our lovely Sean Ryan telling us about that deal.
Well, I'm just looking at the incredible rows and rows and rows of oleanders. And the condition of these, they are just so perfect. And we use, as you know, if you watch regularly, one of the top breeders. In fact, we think the best breeder in the world in Sicily. And all of these, they're a little bit early actually, but they're all covered in buds. They're beginning to flower. And remember, these are evergreen, and if you get a good summer, these could flower even up to October as well. And don't forget, the value is amazing right now. It's a buy one and get one absolutely free.
I said you buy one and you get one.
You said you buy one.
And you get one.
You buy one.
And you get one.
Good.
I'm not making fun of his accent. No, not at all. I love his accent. Yes, so that's the shades of pink, oleander, or you can go for those lovely cream yellow, or you can go for both if you like. Wowza, that'd be a £60 saving, wouldn't it? Brilliant. Right, let's move on to one of the new items that we brought you today, and certainly one of, if not the most popular item that we have brought you. Now, we've discovered something. I say we, Stu discovered something. It doesn't say anything about, oh, was it Anne? Anne apparently emailed in. Well done, Anne. It doesn't say anything on the screen about there being a double-up deal available on here. We were not told there's a double-up deal available on here, but apparently there is a double-up deal available on here. So at the moment we've got one in the basket and it says it's £12.99. We're putting the code in, add another one, and look what happens. Oh, it's not £12.99 each, it's £8.50 each. So it looks like there is a double-up deal available on there. So I suggest you double up on these. You are going to get 6 of these beautiful Dahlia, Maxi Starburst Pink, but you can go for 12 if you want to. And these are a slightly more compact variety of Dahlia, aren't
yeah,
they?
These are absolutely knockouts. Stu's got a really lovely picture of these in a little bowl that kind of summed them up. That's what I really loved. You know, this picture says 1,000 words to me, because when you look at that, I mean, it's kind of almost like lotus lily kind of flowers, and then you kind of see them in a moment. Look at that. I mean, how gorgeous is that? I mean, that lovely kind of dome shape. Hundreds of dozens and dozens of flowers in there. Look at all the buds further down, Bex. All those stems full of buds. So all summer long, these wonderful pinky purple flowers, open flowers that are smiling at you, that are being visited by the pollinated insects. And we're going to send out super quality plug plants to you. All the hard work done. All you've got to do is plant, let them grow, and that joy will be yours.
Yeah, and it's super, super easy. Plant them out once the frost is gone, so I would be potting these on personally. I wouldn't be planting them out yet. I think the frost is gone, but I'm just going to keep mine inside for a little bit longer. Once these get a bit bigger, and I'm going to suggest once they're about this tall, that's when you want to start pinching out. If you want as many flowers as possible, pinching out dahlias is a really good thing to do. I know a lot of you know this already, but for those that don't, pinching out, what you're looking for is this here, where you've got two coming out at the side, and then you've got this growth happening in the middle. So two bits here. What you're going to do is you're going to pinch that bit out. I'm not going to do it because it's too short at the moment. You can use your just fingernails, pinch that out. What that encourages then is extra branching growth. Extra branching growth means more flowers, ultimately. And I'm going to do that multiple times with my dahlias. I do it once it gets to about that stage. So I did it a couple of weeks ago, and I was out in my conservatory yesterday just doing it again. It's the same with tomatoes and things like that. You do it with tomatoes, don't you?
And when you do that as well, Bex, the good thing is as well, it means that kind of each time they regrow, they grow really stout, kind of strong stems, don't they? You don't get one long kind of stem that flops. Yeah. Get a nice compact plant that's really robust and strong.
So it's a really good practice to get into with your dahlias. That'll give you many, many more flowers, and ultimately that's what you want from your dahlias. We want flowers. It's all about the flowers with those. It's a double up deal on those for £16.99. So make sure you put two in your basket when you're doing a double up deal. Appletini is next. This is part of our Grow Your Own section. This is super sweet. Teeny tiny apples. Yeah,
it's like a puppy version of an apple tree, to be honest. You know, it's small, it's cute, it's adorable, but this one will never grow up. It'll always stay really, really small and compact, probably only getting to a metre and a half in a very, very, very long time. And it will produce fruit, about golf ball sized fruit, which if you look on our website, somebody's put a fab suggestion up of making miniature toffee apples, which again would be great because by the time these start to fruit, we're going to be around Halloween, we're going to be around Guy Fawkes time. But, you know, Bex, you've grown one of these, you saying how gorgeous the blossom is.
It is.
Not only when it comes out, but you're saying the buds are absolutely stunning before they burst open.
It's true.
And even the foliage on this is sort of multicoloured. The sort of the new foliage comes out this lovely kind of bronzy sort of red colour before fading back down to green. And again, look at the plant there. I mean, it's like a bonsai apple tree. It's not just one straight up stick in a spindly little pot. Look, it's a multi-branched, gorgeous little tree full of prospect and happiness and joy, and you know that's just got such a great future. It's already been pollinated, and apples are already starting to develop at the base.
It's just starting to thicken up here, is what you were saying, and that is the little embryo of the apple starting to.
Yeah. That's it, little embryonic apple just starting to grow there. You know, this is self-pollinating, the bees have done what they need to do. They've done their job, and the apples are forming.
Absolutely. 300210 is the item number. You are getting a £3 saving on there, just £9.99, honestly, and that'll be in your garden. In a pot, you don't even need a massive space. I've got mine growing in the heavy-duty pot, by the way, and that is it. I've just got it in a nice sunny spot, and you will have that for probably decades, right?
Yeah, and it won't ever need a bigger pot than that 30-litre pot.
It's going to live in that forever.
That'll be its lifetime pot, yeah. So again, even you're just 3 floors up and you've got a balcony, you can now grow apples.
Yeah, you can. 300210 is your item number. Go to yougarden.com in order to place your order, and do consider becoming a club member because you'll get loads of discount, which we always love. Right, the petunia saphinia. Every saphinia is a petunia, but not every petunia is a saphinia. They want to be, though.
Yeah, and that's a really important difference as well, because you know if it actually is a saphinia petunia, it means it's got that reputation, it's got that pedigree. It means it's been around for 30 years and it's probably one or the most popular type of trailing petunia that we bring to you. Oh my goodness me, these ones, you know, everybody who's walked into the potting shed and seen this picture card has all said the same thing. Whoa, they are stunning, they are gorgeous, they are different. I just can't put my exact finger on why it is, but they just draw you, don't they? These flowers.
It's the edging. Do you know what? It's because I think personally, I think it's because it's got that outline. It looks like somebody has drawn that outline around it. It brings it forward. I often talk about this with variegation on leaves. If it's further away from you and it's got the variegation, the optical illusion is that it brings it closer.
Yeah.
And that's where garden design bits come in, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, yeah. It's all, I think they call it trompe l'oeil, kind of fooling the eye kind of thing. So, but yeah, but these flowers, Bex, they almost kind of emanate their own brightness. It's like they've got lights on and they're glowing, they're illuminating. Yeah, they're shining.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's a double up deal. If you want it to be, you can just get 6 of them. You can just get 6 of those plug plants if you want to for £9.99, or you can double up and get 12 of those for £14.98. 401 555 is the item number that you need. Now we have our choice here, the White Dazzler, also known as Mexican Orange Blossom. The reason it's known as that is that the fragrance you get from the flowers that will smother the plant at this time of year is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is a great one as well. I mean, a lot of you have probably grown choisia, and you may have the choisia tonata, and yeah, that's a nice shrub, but you might be thinking, oh yeah, it's got huge, it's sprawling everywhere. Great thing about this one is this is a really nice compact one. Again, just flipping through my brain, thinking of ones that I've seen in customers' gardens over the years. I've never really seen this one get more than kind of knee to waist height generally. It forms a nice rounded shaped bush. It's evergreen. It's got that lovely shiny pilemate sort of leaves on there as well that look glorious. And it's smothered in flower this time of year. And it's one of those shrubs, a bit like the lilac we were bringing to you, that keeps flowering throughout the year as well.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't just have one distinct flowering period and that's it. It will keep throwing out flowers, and sometimes late summer into the autumn it even has a sort of a second flush of flowering before obviously, well, I was going to say going to sleep for the winter, but it doesn't even really go to sleep because it's evergreen, so it looks as nice through the winter as it does through the summer. Yeah,
there's very little you need to do to look after a choisia, no matter what variety you've got. I think they don't really take much care and attention. No. They just look beautiful.
They're not fussed about any. They grow in most soils. They'll grow in full sun. They'll grow in shade, dappled shade. The only thing they won't grow in is really, really dark shade. But yeah, they're just one of those shrubs that's really just not particularly fussed. You know, it'll just grow pretty much wherever you put it, to be honest. And that's what I love about them.
Oh.
Yeah. Again, look at that.
It's in our compost as well. You can see the little green balls. They're snail's eggs. They're not snail's eggs, Philip. Oh,
but
yeah, that's the slow release fertilizer in there. Look,
and that is such a lovely root system there. Look
so
at that.
Good, isn't it?
You know, it's not just in one place. It's not patchy. It's got that full round, amazing root system.
Lovely. So 511002 is the item number. YouGarden.com is where you go to place your orders, and you are getting a £3 saving on there as long as you enter our code YGTV1624. The phone lines, by the way, are open for just over another 2 hours. They're open until 4 o'clock. So if you don't fancy going onto our website to place your order, that's absolutely fine. You can place your order on the phone lines 0844 502 0050, or you can call back tomorrow. There is no hurry. I don't think we're running out of stock of anything. The only thing that was slightly low was the polemonium, but Stu hasn't told us that we're sold out yet, so we think we're absolutely fine. They better not be sold out, Stu. I'll be mad at you. I haven't placed my order yet. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. No, it isn't your fault at all. Right, we've had a quick question about the Oleander. This is the buy one get one free deal. Julie bought one last year. Looks really healthy, but no buds or flowers yet. Does she need to do anything?
No, it'll be absolutely fine. It's probably going to take another month or so to form flowers. But if it's, ours have been kept under glass, so they're slightly kind of ahead of where they normally would be. You'll probably find, give it another, say, 3 or 4 weeks, you will start to see those little sort of flower buds form. But a little quick thing you could do to encourage it as well is use a high potash fertiliser like tomato feed, and that encourages flowering in things. So you could try that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so 680059 is the item number if you would like to go for the gorgeous cream yellow option. There is exactly the same deal available on the pinks as well. So you can go to the website and you can get the pink Oleander if you would like. But this one's been really, really popular for us today. Now, Roger He's a regular. He wants to know, how long can this live in this pot?
You know what? I wouldn't really leave it in that pot any longer than you have to be honest, because it's it's already you know, sort of almost becoming root bound, and also as soon as you put this outside in that pot, it'll blow over straight away.
Very true.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, a few weeks if you have to. You might be buying it for a gift for somebody and you want to take it to them in a few weeks' time, but get it into a bigger pot. Yeah, and it'll be happy for years.
Lovely. 680093 is the item number if you'd like to go for the colour stem. That one has been super popular for us today. Yeah, and I can see why. It's the standard. It's beautiful. It's evergreen. It'll come back year after year as well. That one is stunning. Now then, another one that's been super popular. Could we go over here, Stu? Is not the compost. The compost has been super popular, but I'm not talking to you about that. I'm talking to you about the Torino planters. Now, I think these are popular because they're super low price, £3.99. You'll get all three included. Add one to your basket, put the code in, we will enter the other two. But they're handy. The size of pot is really super handy, isn't it?
They are handy, Bex, but also they're really elegant. You know, the detail that's gone into these small pots is amazing. The reflex rim round the top, the horizontal lining, that kind of nice antique-y aged look as well. UV stable, frost resistant, lightweight, no seams, no joins, no plasticky bits hanging off where they've come off the blow mould.
Yeah.
And as I say, you ask 9 out of 10 people from a distance of probably no more than a metre away, do you think these are plastic? Do you think these are metal? I tell you what, you'd struggle to tell the difference.
Absolutely. These are on rundown, so these are going to be, once they're gone, they are gone, basically. If you enter one into your basket and put the code in, you'll get 2 free. If you enter 2 into your basket, put the code in, you'll get another 4 free. Put 3 in, you'll end up with 9. See where I'm coming to with this? Definitely go for multiples of these because these are really handy to lie around the bottom of slightly larger pots. Creates that lovely full and tiered effect there. In fact, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look, if you went for, and these are slightly smaller pots, and then you add your Torinos around the edges, look. Do you see what I mean? You create that lovely kind of tiered effect. Yeah, and it's diamonds, so you can kind of fit them in like this. Anyway, this is your planter with your bird trellis, and I can't believe the price on these. Genuinely, this is £5.99. You're going to get both of them. That's crazy.
Yeah, and these again are stunning. And I've not thought of it initially, Bex, but I did love the idea that you said, kind of, looking at as a sort of a picture frame, a little kind of frame there. So just a plant that just sort of just sits within the top there. You could have some little bits of lobelia or something trailing over the side, and perhaps just buy a little couple of pots. Those little, sometimes you see those little pots of 9cm ivy.
Yeah.
And just sort of,
I like that. So it just climbs a little bit.
Yeah, just twist it out around the side a little bit, and then it kind of looks like a little miniature garden. Yeah, you can have great fun with these.
Yeah, I love them. They do have the drainage in the bottom. It is raised drainage as well. It's got the channels coming out at the side, so there is that drainage there for you. They are made of plastic, so they're nice and lightweight, easy to move around. This, by the way, is not a handle. Please don't lift it with this once you've got this filled with compost and stuff, because you'll break it, basically. It is there for decoration. Please don't use it as a handle. Right, let's go back over to our favourites table. Just a couple of items before we finish our show. Which one do we want to start with, Stu? Jacob's Ladder. I love this one so much. I just think it's so pretty. The combination of the foliage, how the strong stems, these beautiful flowers, the tiny little yellow stamens in there. It looks like a painting. It looks like a painting of flowers.
They are really, really elegant. In fact, violets, that's the colour remind me of, violets.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of colour. But the flower, when you look at each individual flower, the petal arrangement is absolutely stunning. And then you've got that little sort of centre there as well, and you can see the little stamens coming out and the little sort of stigma and style in the middle there as well. Oh, just knockout. And look at the leaves. I mean, the leaves are just so decorative. The leaves have got little sort of hints of purple and bronzes and colours, and even the leaf stems are nice. Everything about this plant is just elegant and beautiful. And you know what? Sometimes when you see a plant as attractive as this, you can often think, oh yeah, but they're going to be difficult to grow. Things are always beautiful, are always difficult to grow. These are so easy to grow. They're not really fussed about soil. They'll do well in full sun. They'll do well in shade. They'll do well in dappled shade. They come up year after year. They're super frost resistant. They'll have a lifetime guarantee. They flower for a long period. Yeah, what's not to like? I mean, they're just brilliant plants. And these are quite a compact form as well. They'll get to say 30-40 centimetres tall. They won't need staking because they're on those really nice rigid stems. So if you want a perennial as well that is going to give you colour this time of year, because remember, we're in that bit of a gap and in that bit kind of hiatus, between the bulbs and the other sort of the grey, we're in the grey days before the really fantastic other perennials come back, like your lupins and delphiniums. Imagine having these as gap fillers in between, bringing this gorgeous colour. And that one there, Bex, as well, look. Even once the main stems finish flowering, there's more, look, coming up from the base to give you flowers later on. And here we go. Another fantastic root system.
Another fantastic root system, absolutely.
Look at that.
Really raring to go. This is one that you can get planted out in your garden right now. You don't need to pot this on or grow it on a windowsill. This can go out into your garden right now.
Straight out of the box, straight in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to delight you for many years. That's in my basket. I will be continuing my order as soon as this show has finished. As well as the blueberry pink lemonade. This one has also gone into my basket because I'm growing some blueberries already. Love the idea of blueberries, but I want pink blueberries.
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But we're all going out to see the bluebell woods at the moment, and sometimes you see white bluebells, don't you? And it's like, so nature does that. It's a white bell, that's a bluebell. It's a white bluebell. So this is a pink blueberry or a blinkberry or whatever kind of silly name you want to make up for it. But, the good thing about this is, even if this plant didn't fruit, it would still look fantastic in its own right, because there's lovely lantern-shaped clusters of flowers in the spring that are absolutely gorgeous. It has the most incredible winter colour foliage, reds and oranges and so on. But then, of course, the cherry on the cake, or rather the blueberry on the cake, or the pinkberry on the cake.
The blueberry on the pavlova.
Yeah, exactly. Is those lovely, super sweet, juicy berries that are just bursting with antioxidants and minerals and vitamins. All you need to do, just one little caveat with this one is, if you haven't got acid soil, you just need to grow it in a pot in ericaceous compost. But beyond that, it's dead simple. You don't even need to worry about pruning it for the next 2 or 3 years. And if it's in a pot, obviously keep it watered. Liquid feed it once a month with blooming fast or seaweed or tomato feed, and just sit back and enjoy it and just wait for those sumptuous, scrumptious, yumptious fruits to develop.
Cannot wait, and it is only £7.99. It's almost a half price deal. There is a £7 saving on that particular item. And of course, if you're in the club, it is going to be £7.19 because you get an extra 10% discount. I know I've mentioned it a few times throughout this 4 hours, but please do think about joining our club. It costs you just £5 to join. That gives you membership for a full 12 months on an auto renewal yearly subscription. You can cancel that renewal at any point, but if you don't cancel that renewal, what happens is every time it renews, it will automatically renew at £5. Even if we put the cost of the membership up, yours will always renew at £5. But it gives you loads of benefits, 10% off every single plant and accessory order. And if you think about how many times you shop over the full 12 months, you can see where you're going to get that £5 back pretty quickly, can't you? Plus, you're going to get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year as well. You must remember to enter the code YGTV1624 is this week's code. That is what unlocks all of the deals. So if you want your savings, your double up deals, your buy one get one, your buy one get two, or any of the savings that you can see on screen, then that is all accessed by entering in that shopping code, that YGTV1624. You place your order on the YouGarden.com website. That's where you can go and you can shop the entire website if you like, not just what's on the show. You can go and you can search for whatever you like. Spend your money as you see fit. You deserve it. I definitely deserve it as well. If you want to follow either of us on our social media pages, we are bringing the details up there. You've got Rebecca Bex Edwards on Facebook and Instagram. I'm also starting out on TikTok as well, so you can find me on there. And you can also find Adam as well. He's on Instagram and on TikTok, adam.Woolcott.
Yeah, easy find that one. Kept it simple.
Kept it nice and simple. When are you back? Do you know yet?
I'm not sure at the moment, but
we'll find out
hopefully
very
near
soon.
future.
I think I'm back on Wednesday. Yeah, from 10 o'clock. I'm definitely back on Wednesday from 10 o'clock. So do come and join us in the potting shed for another week of joy and plants. I hope you have a lovely afternoon. Enjoy your Sunday dinner. See you soon.